We had this exact issue before, right?
Yeah, we did. Yep. Is it started now?
Yeah, it should be started now. Hey guys, can you see? Let me know if you can hear. How does the audio sound? There are two things that, if you can see at all, how the audio sounds, um,
Oh
versus
yeah, I got
like
it playing right now.
yeah, because I'm using my mic and then they're going through my computer, so the audio might not be balanced.
Wait, guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Is that any better? Any chance?
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of
It's a
hard to
lot better.
hear you, but
Well, I mean, it's not great, but it's better.
Okay, sure. I think my headphone mic might be like a lot worse. So let me try to change that.
all right,
Yeah, but we are live.
we are live.
Already.
We are live right now. Yeah.
Oh, there.
Let me drop this in some Discord so we can get so we
You might
can
want
get
to
some
wait until
viewers.
George gets himself settled.
Gotta spam the shit out of Discord.
Oh, don't get banned.
Yeah. Let me see. There's some servers where I don't want to post it in there because we'll get a bunch of cringe if we do that, like DJT.
Refold?
If I
Oh,
no, I
yeah.
don't know. Refold people are nice, so I would like post it in there. But like DJT, we'll probably get a bunch of racist comments if we post it in there.
They do not post it in Anacreon, DJT.
Yeah.
Ojimon's chill. Post it in Korikara.
No one's in there. I don't even have access to it now because I lost my old account.
Oh, can you not join it?
No, it's not
Oh, I
joinable
can't invite
anymore.
you either. Dude,
Yeah.
I'll post it. Don't worry. I got you.
I think
You should just ask Eric to get invited.
I think this is the best we're gonna do audio-wise, guys.
All right, cool.
I mean, it's workable.
All right, fine.
All right, gonna post in Korikara. Would you post in the Moiway or Migaku?
I don't know. I guess I might post in the Moe way, but I'm not active in Mikako, so it's just like this annoying guy is coming to self-promote. I don't know if they know who I am.
Wait,
Should I actually post it in
stream?
Korikara? Yeah, sure.
It doesn't matter either way.
Not like anyone's gonna see it.
All right. George, can you turn on your camera?
Yep. Can do.
All right.
Are you just like spamming servers to put the link in? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
1 million people are watching right now, George.
1 million people are watching.
God.
Dude,
That one.
dab on them.
That was great.
You have a nice watch there.
Oh yes, it's a Casio watch face. Would you believe?
Oh, really? Really? That's his exact name on Discord.
Oh yeah. All right.
Oh wait,
so,
did you accept my friend request? George,
Oh,
you
we're
gotta accept my
friends
friend
now?
request,
George!
bro.
Oh yeah. Shit. Sorry.
But anyway,
We're friends, aren't we?
let me pull up
Somewhat
the
actually,
the
yeah.
Google Doc. Shit. The Google Doc appeared
Yeah,
on the
just ignore
screen.
it. Ignore my pimple. I've been trying to get rid of it, but it won't leave.
I feel like I should show. I've got no view to show. Never mind.
All right. So if anyone watching the stream has like questions or anything they're interested in us answering, post that in the chat. And we have a bunch of different topics and stuff that we prepared here as well to talk about. So if you guys are ready, we can get into that.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. I can read my computer from here, so it should be fine. What? Why?
Dude. Yeah. That's
I didn't recognize that account, but it was funny.
Wait, dude, you're not subscribed to News Arena Cryptarena?
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Never mind. I know now. Uh,
One of my top 5
by the way,
channels, favorite.
one sec. Uh, just check Discord. But anyway, so getting into the questions we got here. The first question was from Wyatt, actually.
Wait, hold on. Can we introduce everyone
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
first?
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
yeah.
No.
Just-
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm Wyatt. I go by Ferretter online, and I've been immersion learning Japanese for like 5 years, and Chinese for like a year and a half,
Mhm.
but taking it pretty slow with Chinese. And I really like audio cards.
He's the Chinese Chad. Yeah.
That's the goal.
Originally we were learning Chinese together, but I quit Chinese and he kept going. So now he's gonna be a Chad, and I'm gonna be stuck as a Chud forever.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have the biggest collection of Mandarin anime dubs in the world as well
Yeah.
on my Nya.
He has a love for Mandarin anime dubs. Even
Yeah.
even Matt versus Japan uses his Mandarin anime dubs.
Yeah, Matt vs. Japan certified.
Yeah. All right, and George, can you give a short introduction?
Yeah, so I'm George, aka George in Korea. I came to live in Korea when I was about 18, 19 or so. And I've been learning Korean by immersion learning for about 5 years, same, started in 2020. And I'm just sort of living my life here as a uni student. And I guess that's pretty much it. That's me. I don't know.
And how did we meet again?
We met. Well, we met in Japan, but like before that,
Yeah, I mean like online.
I don't even remember. It was something like, I think it was just on YouTube. I think I just left a comment through one of your like base red pill videos. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for spreading that AJATT energy or something like that, right? And then I think it was just YouTube comments.
Yeah.
I posted
Well,
and stuff.
I think we connected on
Yeah.
Discord originally on your old account, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
I
The
actually
blue
can't
app?
remember, to be honest.
the blue app.
The blue app.
Signal. I remember
Yes.
when I told Kai to get Signal, he was like,
Yeah.
"I don't want to use this goddamn blue app."
That's where that came from.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I basically took like a Discord detox for a while,
Mhm.
and now I'm back on it. So we'll see where that takes me. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
thanks for having me on. I guess.
Wyatt, what do you think about Discord? Should everyone quit Discord, or should we all use Discord more?
I think the world would be a better place if everyone quit Discord. No. But the Japanese learners, I have a very special place in my heart for the online Japanese learning community. But most other people, I mean,
Yeah.
Maybe I just have to speak.
Wait, by the way, he might be able to make his audio better if he did he raised the, have the background like sensitivity setting. Do you think that would help?
Oh yeah, I can play around with that if you want.
well, no, that wouldn't, like, it doesn't cut out background noise from his voice. It just doesn't play anything if it's only background noise. It wouldn't make it better. Also,
Okay.
but they might have noise canceling. I don't know if that works on
I'm
mobile.
pretty sure they do. But he can play around with that and see, maybe we can get a better result here. But
All right, so I've got like multiple settings, so I can just run through them. I'm already on the max, like getting ready back. So I don't know if this is gonna help.
the max what?
Like the max getting rid of background noise, like the max
Oh.
mobile settings.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's gonna help. So how about now?
I mean, it sounds...
It sounds the
same.
same, yeah.
Would it be awkward for you to talk louder in this public space you're in? Oh, we can't really hear you at all.
Yeah.
Or are you talking? I can't tell.
Okay.
We just see the top of your forehead.
I can't tell if he's like moving or talking. Oh,
Okay,
he's
so
yeah.
is this better? This is what better?
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright,
Okay.
okay, last one. Is this better? Or is it worse?
Uh,
I
I
think
mean,
it's
that's as good
better.
as it's gonna
Same.
get.
Yeah.
Okay, that's as good as it's gonna get. Alright.
This is significantly better. But
Okay.
okay, now we can finally start the stream, right? Let's do it.
Yeah. Apologies.
No, it's okay. I didn't know you were on a trip, or I might have changed the time, but I already kind of had it scheduled.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. I'll for the next one, if we do another one, I'll make sure I'm like properly set up.
Mhm.
Apologies.
For sure.
I mean, mute me if it's too annoying or something like that. Like, you know, make it work.
So, the first question we have is from Wyatt here, and he said, "I want to know how the study methods of people into K-pop differ from normal AJATTers."
Ah, good question. Well, first of all, we listen to a lot of music.
Dude, you're not moving.
I say we.
Your
Oh shit.
your image is
I'm not
frozen.
moving.
Yeah.
That's a really
Wait,
good
oh,
frame
am I
too.
back? I'm still not moving.
Oh wait,
Oh
We got
yeah, you're
second
good.
up.
You're good.
someone in the chat said, "Could you turn up his audio?" I think they can't hear him very
Oh.
well, but
Oh, help me, God asks.
Help me,
Turn up the
God.
volume.
Wait, God. This is it's not ideal.
oh well,
First of all,
it sounds fine. It
Yeah.
sounds fine.
Yeah. We're gonna have to roll with it, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what I was saying, the music is a big part of it. I think I
Mhm.
listened to like thousands of hours of music before I actually did any immersion, or like raw immersion, like passive or active, whatever. I don't know. I never really watched anime in
Mhm.
Korean at least. So there was this one series that they did in Korean, which was, I forget the name of it. It's something like Solo Leveling, or it was like
Yeah.
parody of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it's just kind of whack, to be honest. Like, not really my taste.
Mhm.
So I guess the study method is different. Yeah, a lot of people tend to consume a lot of music, and Korean content in general is way less than Japanese in terms of like diversity. So when you go to watch something, say you want to watch like a podcast or something, first of all, there's only like 5 podcasts that actually run in Korea, like straight up. And then all of the other sort of TV or the content, it feels like it's YouTube in like 2010 or like 2005, it's like way back.
Okay,
They
yeah.
haven't really
Japan's
caught
like that.
Yeah, I've watched a little bit of Japanese YouTube, but yeah, as far as I know, it's quite behind, I guess. I don't know. Does that satisfy your question, or is there any?
Well, do you know like this guy Nick?
Yeah.
I think Matt interviewed him. He's like a
Yes.
singer in Japan.
Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, so he has like an amazing accent. He's like, I mean, to my
Right.
knowledge, he is like the best of any foreigner who learned Japanese.
Well,
Okay.
white foreigner.
Like, yeah, white foreigner, like
Right, yeah,
after
Western.
the age of like whatever.
Mhm.
But he learned a lot through music. He has like really good, pitch. He's a singer, so he has like this amazing accent. And I was wondering if you think learning through music gives you like a better accent, just because you're focusing on sounds more.
Well, see, I do compliment on my accent, but that's probably just like the whole what's the Nihongo Jozu type thing. Like they have the same thing in Korean, where they say like, "Oh, your Korean's so good! Oh my god!"
Mhm.
I don't know if that's true. For me, I think my accent is like relatively decent, but I wouldn't attribute that to music. I don't think it really makes a difference.
Would you like learn through lyrics of music at all?
Yeah, I
just
did.
listen
That's
to
pretty
it?
much what I did for like. So I would listen to it, and then for songs that I liked, I would just go and search up the lyrics and then read them, like sentence mind the lyrics. And that was actually quite a big part of my immersion, to be fair. But then I sort of got like red pilled halfway through the journey. And I was like, oh no, screw music. So I'd still listen to it, but I just wouldn't count it as my immersion hours. So, I was doing like 4 hours active, and then I'd be doing like passive or the rest of the time, right? But not with music. Like specifically, definitely not with music. But yeah, in terms of accent, I don't think it really makes a difference in terms of, or I don't think listening to music has any benefit.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it must not be that different from the Japanese community when it comes to the type of content.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because you say Japanese community, right? I don't think there really is a Korean learning community. It's just like
Oh, really?
Yeah.
five Westerners who actually do that. Yeah, because, well, okay, in terms of people who I know, who are
Well,
actually good at
I'm
Korean.
sure there's like
Yeah, go on.
there's like a normie learning community though, right? Like people not into immersion.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah. But I wouldn't. When we're talking about community, I'm talking like immersion community,
Yeah.
sort of
Hmm.
AJATT, which there's only I think 3 other white guys who I know who are like at a really high level because they did it via like AJAT methods, and then the rest of the learners I know are just sort of like in that normie space. So there's not that many people who've made it that far with Korean in these.
Yeah.
Maybe there are more now. Maybe I've lost touch and I'm not because I'm not really active in the community. But yeah, it's quite a stark difference. It's quite a learning journey, I guess.
Would you describe all the Korean learners as normal?
Well, I think anyone who learns another language, they've got a little bit of a screw loose. Like you're born in one culture, you're born in one society, and then you go and see this other group, and you're like, I want to be like them, but you can never really be like them because all these other differences, cultural differences, and linguistically, as you guys know, you can't really get to native level like for real. You can get close, but
Yeah,
if you
I
really
agree.
it's going to take like 30 years or whatever, right? So yeah, I would say I don't think any of us are normal. Maybe the Korean learners just a little bit less
Yeah.
normal.
I think
see.
I,
But yeah,
I touched. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, yeah, just the Japanese learners are known for being like, a lot of them, especially the hardcore ones and then DJT, they're like really
Yeah.
weird. Like,
Yeah.
you know
Like
how it
anime
is.
memes all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
From what I've seen enough. I can say that.
Yeah.
But I think I touched on this in my video about quitting Japanese, but
Yeah.
like most people, even if they do learn Japanese, they're not committed enough, or they're not invested enough to actually like give up their home culture and move to another country or something like that. That's a really big hurdle. So I would say anyone, especially anyone who moves to another country, is really not normal at all. At least looking
Yeah.
at it from the wider perspective, because most people would never do that. Like the idea of
Facts.
leaving your family and your friends and your whole life to go live in some random country with the language you learned on the internet is like really absurd to most people.
Yeah. If you put
guess
it like
that's
that,
true.
then yeah, it is pretty absurd. Yes.
I'm the most normal guy on this stream. That
Maybe.
maybe.
I mean, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
get on
probably
this stream.
there's probably
if you listen
normal
to this.
people
Yeah.
watching.
Comment down below if you're normal.
Subscribe
rank,
if you're a normie, yeah.
rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 how well you can fit into society. But I have a question as well.
Yeah. Go for it.
Why do white people love Korean girls so much? Like every time I talk
You're
to
gone.
a white guy, they always like talk about how much they like Korean girls. Yeah. And like
Okay. I
like
mean, I don't know which
see
white guys you've been talking to yet. Yeah. Go.
I have well if they're into Asians, there's like a really
Yes.
big chance that they like specifically Korean women. And I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of guys that like Japanese girls and stuff too, but they're usually a
Yeah,
little weird.
yeah.
But there's like a lot
Right.
of Western normies that really like Korean girls. And so I was
Oh,
wondering if
seriously?
you have any insights for
Okay.
us.
Okay, well, as a female, okay, how do I put this? It's like not cringe way.
Female enjoyer.
as an admirer of yeah,
You can just say straight, bro.
yeah, as someone with a cock and balls. I
didn't expect you to say that.
we're getting into the weeds here. Yeah, I've actually not experienced these normies who are apparently Korean girls like you speak of, but I guess I think they put the most effort into their looks, and in Korea in general, you see the whole K-pop thing. It's very image based. Korean society itself is very image based. How you look is quite important. You're not supposed to have, even for men, you're not supposed to have like a beard or shaved head, or there's certain things that are very taboo, and like you get called out for that. But in terms of, I guess, the attraction to women, I don't know. I think it's just an image thing. I can't really pinpoint it down to one thing. Maybe because it's trending right now on social media. All these
Yeah.
girls like posting like models or like K-pop photos, or whatever. Like that's kind of probably why it's more on the internet.
Yeah, I think
But
that's
there's not really,
definitely a
like, one
factor.
thing.
the like K-pop videos and stuff like that. But like I knew this guy when I worked at Walmart pushing carts. There was this guy, and every time I was on a lunch break, he would come up to me and like try and tell me all about how much he liked Korean girls, and he would show me all these videos of Korean girls. And I was like, bro, I'm really not interested. Like, I just want to watch anime and immerse. But he really wanted me to know how much he liked Korean girls.
Shit. Wow. I mean, I've never, like I said, I've never met that sort of person in real life. And I don't really engage with that too much online. But yeah, I can say the image thing is huge here. Yeah, definitely.
We've got someone in the chat said, just live in your mom's basement and watch anime for 10 hours a day instead. That's exactly what we should do.
Yeah. That is the answer, really.
Mm-hmm.
As a point.
Just consume
as Matt said, grow a pair of balls. What did he say? Grow a pair of balls and watch anime all day.
Pretty much, yeah, straight up.
Why is the guy in the... we got Zaft in the chat. Why is the guy in the top right so handsome? I mean, you tell me. You tell me. I want to kiss him.
I don't know. All I see is 3 very attractive young men. So I'm not entirely sure, but
young boys.
Young king.
I appreciate it. I love you too. Gotta get Zaft on one of these.
No. No.
Making OnlyFans and get Zaft on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that might work. And then we've got a question from Shizuka, and they said, ask George where I can torrent manhwas.
Okay, good question. Right, so manhwa obviously is like manga, Korean manga, right? And there's in pretty much every torrent site or every place you're trying to download them, there's always like the normie section, like just the regular, run-of-the-mill stuff, and then there's like 18 plus, 30 stuff, always mixed in. So that's just a word of warning. So there's quite a few sites. The biggest one in Korea is called Manatoki, MANATOKKI, right? Which is mana, which is.
Here, let me type it in the chat, or maybe Wyatt could type it in the chat.
Yeah. That's the biggest one, and what they do is they get the Japanese manga, and then they've written like Korean translations all over it. So you get like the Japanese stuff if that's what you're into, but it's all translated in Korean, and plus it has Korean webtoons on there as well. Now, to download that, you might need another tool called Hitomi Downloader. That's one you can use, or there's like other Chrome extensions. Personally, I don't download them; I just use it through the internet. But this person's talking about torrenting, so there's that. There's also other sites like I think it's called Blacktoon. If you just search like Murio Webtoon in Korean, which is like free webtoon.
It literally sounds like Japanese.
By the way, I can't find this freaking site. What's it called?
Manatoki. So it won't pop up. You have to there'll be like a a redirect link.
Wait,
on there.
all of the resources you just said, can you text them out and put them in the Discord chat? Yeah.
All right.
And then we'll put them in the YouTube chat for anyone that's interested.
Yeah, we should have learned
Korean. I don't know how many Korean learners are gonna watch this, but just in case.
Oh, okay.
There's another one. There's that other app. Damn, I forgot what it's called. They use it for Japanese as well. It's like that manga app.
I know what he's talking about. What's that app called?
They're like blue. Yeah. Because there's that as well.
Do you know what it is?
Mostly borrows from libraries of these sites and stuff. But yeah.
The manga reading app for Android that we use to read.
You know what I'm talking
What's
about.
that called again?
Tachiyomi got removed.
Tachiyomi.
But it just became Nihon, and you can just use it normally now.
That's it, yeah. So there's that as well. Pretty much just search Mudo Webtoon and you'll be fine. Yeah. Like, straight up.
Dude, I searched it up. I still can't find the link, but this is what it's called.
He's going to type it out for us.
Hold up. Yeah, well, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. At the end of the stream, I'll search it for you and get it up for real.
Oh, for sure.
Usually, there's a site called Chuso Wiki. So Chuso is like address, and then you go on there, and then it'll give you a link to the current address. Because what happens is there'll be Manatoki 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 will get banned, so they make a 1, 2, 4, and it just goes on like that. So. Yeah.
There's probably a link on this page, but I don't know Korean.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think the current one is 4 to 8.
Oh!
I don't know. Yeah, you think you got
I
it?
think I found it. That is a lot of naked women.
Yes.
No.
Okay. You're in the right place. Yeah.
I'm gonna send this stream to my parents, so they can
Oh.
join in.
Lovely. Yes.
Wait, really? After what I just
Wonderful.
said?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, seriously?
Should I send this to my mom?
Dude,
Oh, okay,
yeah, you
watch
can
it.
send it to your mom. Yeah, curry fry. There's like
Oh, I love that.
curry fry is in the chat, bro, and
Dude,
there's so many Korean words that sound just like Japanese. He commented on that.
Yes.
Me and George
yeah,
always
yeah.
talk about this. Whenever we talk, we always this always comes up.
Yeah. Like just a couple off the top of my head, like chumbi, uwimi, or wimi.
What's the word for like to
Udon.
start?
To start, shijak or keishi.
Oh, there's
Keishi.
like kaishi, but like kaisha in
Oh,
Chinese, and they're
keishi.
really similar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but keishi in Korean is like really formal. Like you don't really use that. It'd be like start with like fire.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
start
yeah.
shooting. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
That's the
then
same word. Yeah.
I think there's like muishki, like unconscious. Muishki is similar as well,
uishi,
right?
uishi. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about muimi? Like meaningless.
Yeah, moon is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
It's just
moon.
the same
Oh, in
language.
Chinese, Chinese it's W as well.
Oh really? Yeah.
Or
Wait,
like,
do they have you wimi in Japanese, which is like meaningful?
oh yeah,
Yuigi.
Like,
yeah.
Ah,
Oh, I
right.
don't know the pitch accent.
Yuigi. I think it's Yuigi.
So it's the same.
Oh,
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
let's check. I'm gonna 100% accurate pitch.
All right. Is it Yuigi?
Yuigi, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. I was
I
right.
knew it. All right.
Jason will be proud.
Sounds the same to
Jason, are you proud?
Jason,
Yaksoku.
please tell me you're
Do you have
proud.
yaksoku as well?
Oh, this is Jay
Yaksok.
Joshu.
me. Yeah.
Oh.
It's the same.
Yo, I love that guy.
He's a legend. Actual legend. In the
This
chat.
guy's
Man,
like, he's like an OG AJATT or something, right?
Yeah.
OG agent.
Let's see. Okay, we got some more questions in the. Oh, my mom's here.
Seriously,
Hi,
man. I
guys.
thought you were joking. Fair
Dude,
play.
you're
No,
leaking
I'm
your last
serious.
name.
I'm serious.
Okay.
I mean, my last
Shout out to the
name
fans.
is already public on my Instagram.
Okay.
Here, I'll send this to my dad too. My mom seems to be offline.
Yeah.
Just dogs. Wow.
Oh, we've got another
Tell
one.
my mom about this. Yeah.
Inky. Inky also means popular.
Yes.
He said.
Inky. Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's it,
Inky,
Joshua, are you learning
Inky.
Korean?
Dude, if
Wait,
what do you think? Should people learn
Yeah.
Korean?
Okay. So
Is it worth it?
it's worth it for me because I'm living here. But if I'm being real, you could probably get by in English in Seoul. Like most young people are pretty good at it. If you go outside of Seoul, then yeah, you probably should. The value for me, it's been in the connections, been the people you meet, and also like the cultural stuff, like trying these weird dishes and like knowing the names of just weird, cultural norms or cultural events, which I would never have been able to get in English. But is it worth it? I'd say try and learn Hangul. Like at least learn Hangul. Like it's pretty easy. You can like Anki it in a week or two, and then whenever you go to Korea or see some Korean, you can read out words. So it's like like katakana in Japanese, right? It's like for foreign word. You can in Korean it's just Hangul, right? So there's no difference between like the kana. It's just you read it and you can sound stuff out. So I'd say definitely that's worth it. Is it worth dedicating 5 years of your life to listening to like K-pop and shit and like doing what I did? I probably wouldn't do it again. But also, I know I would do it again, but it's like I don't think I could do it again. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I found immense value in it. Would I recommend it to other people? If you're into Korea, if you want to come here or you have some sort of like resonance, then go for it. But ultimately, I think you have to resonate. Like for example, you guys learn Japanese and obviously Chinese now. I wouldn't be able to do that as well because I don't resonate with Japanese as much as I do Korean. Because Korean girls are better apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just joking, but you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
You just have to have that
No,
vibe.
Wyatt,
resonance.
see, Wyatt knows that actually Chinese girls are the best.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, don't worry,
based
man.
opinion.
There's like a billion of them.
Yeah, apparently like the guy was that guy, the vlogger who like Surfing ZA. You guys know who he is?
Wait, what
Oh
was it?
yeah. I used to
Yeah, you
listen
know
to
who that
his videos all the time. He did ADV
Yeah.
China.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, apparently the guy got like a girlfriend within like 3 days of landing in China. So
Oh, really?
apparently
Just
it's
be
pretty
rich
lit.
and
Yeah,
white.
just be
That's
rich and white and just tunnel.
yeah. I mean,
But
I don't
yeah,
know what
so
it's like now, but like there's kind of this image
Back in the
that
day.
white guys will just go to China and get laid instantly.
oh yeah, Lachlan said he went to he told his girlfriend, I just held the girl's hand. And then she was like freaking out, and he said like he went to a rural village in China, and
Hmm.
this like little girl like wanted to hold his hand because they'd never
Bruh.
seen a foreigner before.
We have this friend
Um,
Lachlan. He's Chinese maxed.
oh yeah, so I was gonna say my rule for if you should learn a language or not is if you watched the content, like enough content, that if you turned off the subtitles, you would get fluent understanding in 2 to 3 years. Then I think you should learn the language. Like if you watch so much anime, like
Yeah.
1,000 hours a year, like you should totally just do it.
Yeah. Right. It's time wasted otherwise if you're just learning it,
Yeah,
like just
yeah.
doing it in English. Yeah. Totally. Yeah, so I think it's the same sort of point. You just have to resonate. You have to be that guy who is into it. If you're not, don't bother. Yeah.
I mean, people have this image that like learning for anime is worse than like learning for your family or something.
Hmm.
But in my opinion, it makes much more sense to learn through media because the goal and process are the exact same. Because if you want to speak,
Yes.
like you have to consume thousands of hours of content, and it's like
Yeah. It's
indirect
all media.
Hmm.
to what you want to do.
But
So it's like there's more
mhm.
dissonance there, and there's like more effort you have to put in typically.
I think it
Hundred
also
percent.
depends on like if how much you really gonna use it like once you learn it. Like if you really think you're gonna be watching anime like for the rest of your life and you're gonna be really into that stuff for like a really long time, then it would be worth it to learn it just to understand. But if you like if it's just a fad like and then you're gonna move on from anime, I mean you don't know the future so you can't really know. But if you're gonna move
True.
on, then you're gonna have wasted your time if you don't also use it to build meaningful connections or do something with it other than just consume content. I feel like there's not much meaning to that.
Mm. True said. True said. Yeah, definitely.
um,
100%.
but do you feel like your life is better because you live in Korea? Do you feel like your life got better?
Um, I think I don't think it got better in like a material sense. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think the UK, Korea, US is kind of like a similar playing field materially.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Philosophically, spiritually, I had experiences that I would never have had if I didn't come here. For example, I don't know how bad it is in Japan, but like the collectivist sort of mindset here, of like you have to
Mm-hmm.
fit in, you can't stand out, you can't dress a certain way, you are your role, you're not who you are, you're not an individual. All of this sort of heavy pressure on society. I think it is worse in Korea. I don't estimate.
Mm-hmm.
Like experiencing that firsthand and seeing why like the suicide rate is really high. Like I kind of get it now because your grade isn't just your score; it's who you are as a person. It's your value to society. It's very huge, and like you can't. You know, if you get caught wearing like the wrong shit to school, apparently you just lose all your friends. Like it's very tribal. It's very.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they have this as bad in Japan. I'm not sure, but it's quite fierce. Like you hear stories of like, oh, Korea's like really competitive, and it's quite a hard society, and I totally agree. But because obviously I'm a foreigner, sometimes I get a free pass. But I think seeing the suffering of like sort of the mental suffering, I have to say, firsthand, has definitely made it worth experiencing in terms of like an eye opener, rather than any sort of material gain or like oh my god, Korean subway is so fast. Like no, I don't really care about too much about that or. Like the medical system's good, like it's good, but
Mm-hmm.
I would say the West, at least the UK, is sort of falling apart physically or materially, whereas the East,
Yeah.
Korea, is getting
The
screwed up
West has
mentally,
fallen.
like for real. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah. And look, I don't know if you guys know about the birth rate situation in Korea, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like pretty much
Oh,
unsavable.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we know.
It's,
Point
yeah,
seven,
yeah,
right?
Is
point seven.
Korea
It's unsavable.
cooked?
Fun fact. North Korea is 1.7, so
Oh,
that's
you
where
know,
it's
North
at.
Korea's doing way better. North Korea, way better country.
Well,
Well, no, they're
Oh,
worried
yeah.
because the population of Korea is going down faster than North Korea. So it's like
Yeah.
their advantage will like get lesser and lesser over time.
Yeah, it's literally unsavable apparently. Like even if they raise it to
Yeah.
like 3.0, they're still cooked. So yeah, I'm
And
just
I've heard
enjoying it
like
while it lasts. Yeah.
and I've heard like France and Korea have both put like billions of dollars into fixing the birth rates with like basically no
Yeah.
effect. It's just
Yeah.
like
pretty
over.
much.
I mean, many
Yeah,
countries
yeah,
have
we
tried to use financial incentives or various government incentives to improve the birth rate, but it just doesn't
Yes.
work. Because the birth rate issue is more of like it's like a cultural, spiritual, it's like a fundamental
Mm,
issue with society that can't be
mm,
solved by throwing money at the problem.
straight up. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's
only
funny.
a
I'm
part of
also
it
here
can
in
be.
Korea. Oh, sorry. Go on. I'll
Oh,
let
I
you
mean,
speak.
yeah, there's just so many factors, like housing and everything.
Mm,
Like, money is only a small part.
right. Right.
We've
Yeah, I
got
was just gonna say that in Korea, there's so many adverts for like weddings now. Like you go around and it's like, get married, have kids, join the. Do they have that in Japan? Do they have like arranged marriage companies
they
where
do.
you have to like.
They do.
They do. Ah,
Um,
okay. Yeah.
yeah, omiai
I
kekkon
see
is
that
what
all the
it's
time.
called. Omiai kekkon, and then they
Okay.
have like, they also have like konkatsu
Okay.
sangyo, which is kind of like, there's like a, or gyokai, but there's like this konkatsu, like apps
Okay.
and services and all this stuff that people use to try
Uh,
and get married and like find
so
people to get
it's
married with.
it's just as cooked then, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as cooked, but it's pretty cooked. But I heard the
Okay.
Korean
Yeah.
dating culture is really cooked.
Oh yeah, bad. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Really bad. If you like Instagram is like a must. If you don't have an Instagram, you pretty much don't exist in the world of dating. Like I
Oh.
say, it's very image based. It's like if you imagine Confucius society, so like it's all about wealth, pride, family pride, showing off honor, all this shit, right? That still exists heavily here. So in Korea, they ask you, which university did you come from? And that's basically asking like, what's your rank in society, bro? Like, it sounds like a meme, but like,
Mhm.
if you didn't graduate from university from within Seoul, it's called in Seoul University, then it's pretty much like, okay, you're a second class citizen, or you're just not as good. And then
Yeah.
it goes up, and there's the rankings and whatnot. So that's huge. So I guess women look at that where you graduate university.
Mhm.
Obviously things like money, car, what car you're driving.
Yeah.
In the West, if a woman like asks what car you're driving or all that sort of thing, you start to say like, oh, she's a gold digger, or that's not cool. Like, why are you asking that?
Mhm.
Maybe some people like that, but in Korea, that's just kind of like a cultural norm. It's like, of course they're going to ask you how many followers you have. Of course they're going to ask you
Yeah.
your wages, what school you went to, and that's just like a norm. Like, if you don't fit the standard, it's like, oh, sorry, you don't fit the standards, which is why the birth rate is good.
By the way, we've got some
it's
comments
man.
in the chat, and the
Yes.
one moose says birth rate's cooked. Hopefully this man can bring it back.
I try my best.
And then
I spoke to a
Joshi
female within 5
Joshi
minutes
says
on this holiday. Yeah.
Joshi says gotta go find a plastic Korean girl by the Han River.
Well, I actually live
Is this
near the
true?
Han River. So I live near the river, and I would say if you're trying to find like plastic, you should go to Gangnam, which is like Gangnam. You've heard of Gangnam Style, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like the rich part in Korea. Yeah. Go there. Don't go to the Han River. Go there.
I
Yeah.
actually had no idea it was a place until just now.
Yeah, no, it's a real place. Gangnam, so Gang is river and then Nam is south, so it's like south of the river.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jason
Yeah.
Oh, it's like in Japanese, nan is south,
Oh, well, there you
so
go.
it's kind of similar.
Same character, yeah.
Jason says it's really interesting learning about how over Korean society is.
Oh, dude, it's over.
Mate,
Yeah.
it's properly good. And I don't even know why I came here. Like, to be honest, I'm like here in my fourth or fifth year now, and I look back and I'm like, why the hell did I come here? Like, it's so good, but at the same time, I love it because it's just such a unique path, right? Because
Mhm.
a lot of people are interested in Japan, but like who's going to Korea and just coming to like this countryside place? But it's very
Yeah.
one side is lonely, but it's also quite unique. So yeah.
Yeah. By the way, about the like how you talk about how the college you went to determines your
Yes.
value, the grades and test
Yep.
scores and things like that. Japan has a lot
Yes.
of that, but it's not nearly as strict. It's kind of sounds like
Right.
Korea light. Like in Japan, it's the same thing. People ask what college you went to, and it's
Oh, really?
very
Yeah.
important to them. Like, well, it depends on the kind of person, but recently people care a lot less, and
Yes,
that kind of
right.
culture has been dying out. But there is still a lot of emphasis on what college you went to, and how well you did on like Zenkokushiken and that kind of stuff.
Like
Right.
that,
Right.
yeah.
But
Yeah, the exam, right?
I'd say what college you went to is really important. They talk about all the time. Like they have like Sandai Shiritsu, like the most popular
Yes.
colleges that are
Yeah.
like private universities, public universities, and they talk about it a lot. And there's this really popular YouTube channel called Wakate TV, and they basically make fun of people who go to certain colleges, and that's all they do. They go out and interview people at these colleges, and then they make fun
Yeah.
of them to their face. And it's actually like a really popular. It's a really popular YouTube channel with college students in Japan. Even like
Wow.
like I've talked to a lot of Japanese people who watch this channel, and
Yeah.
the YouTubers, there's these, they'll make fun of the universities that these people go to, but they still watch it because they just
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, my university sucks. I'm like, they literally like almost think of themselves as a lower class citizen in a way,
It's crazy. Yeah. It's
and they
crazy.
like enjoy this kind of content. But that stuff's really popular.
I have no idea about that. That's actually quite unique insight. So it's sort of the same in Japan, but just sort of a lesser version.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have this word,
Right.
I don't know, Efuran Daigaku. It's like a shitty university basically, and
F-grade university.
Like
Yeah.
F-rank colleges.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
and they'll, even if their college isn't that terrible, if they didn't go to like one of the best colleges, they always say like, oh, I went to Efuran Daigaku.
Yeah. I can relate to that. Yeah, I see that happening in both cultures.
We've got some highly insightful comments from Zaft here. The new president of Korea ruined everything, removing Japan base. North Korean invasion, kakshite, feminism plus nationalism. Thank you for your very
don't get me.
insightful comments.
Oh, yeah, what was that thing where, like, Korean men would, like, sit in the pregnant, like, the seats meant for pregnant women?
So, on the Korean subway trains, there's like pregnant spots that only reserved for them, and on buses too. I think that's really overhyped. I don't actually see anyone doing that. But there's like a niche, so like the 4chan of Korea. It's called. I don't want to say the word out loud now because there's like a bunch of Korean people around me. I don't want to. So like, I'll type it in chat real quick. But basically, the users of that did something. Hold up, there we go. So you can read that. The users of that website did this like campaign where they go and like sit on there and just like do the like basically the Korean 4chan logo, and that was like a whole trend. But politics wise, you guys heard about the whole like martial law thing?
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah. So I live like in an
I know
apartment
about
building,
it.
and like I was asleep, and like I woke up at like 3 a.m. to like some helicopter sound and just like a bunch of like chaos outside my house, just like people shouting like in Korean, like this is democracy, whatever, and it was like complete carnage. And then like all of a sudden the next day it was like, right, okay, yeah, we've impeached the president, he's gone, and that was the end of that. And then now we've got a new president who's like far left, and well, I won't talk anymore on politics, but yeah, the country's pretty cooked.
No, I'm actually
As
I'm
to
pretty
establish.
interested.
You are? Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it's really interesting.
Because I don't know anything about it. I've heard about
Alright.
the martial law thing, but I don't know
Yeah.
the details.
Okay, well, I'll give you some detail then. So the guy, the president, who was the president until very recently, he was right-wing, and he promised the country, like, oh, we're going to do all this, make all these changes, we're going to do this, that, and the other, we're going to get rid of the feminist department. So in Korea, there's like a department of government called like the women's department. It's basically like a ministry of feminism, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like all the Korean guys hate that. It's like, oh, yeah, that's so shit. So he said he would get rid of it, and he didn't. And then so some people got mad, they figured. I don't actually know why he did the martial law. Apparently there was like, he had no choice but to. But to be honest,
He was lonely, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that. But whatever the case, that happened. He got impeached, and then the guy who's the president now, right? This is interesting. So he's called Lee Jae-myung, or Jae-myung Lee in English, and he had this record of this phone call. And he's called, I think it's another political member or something like that, and he's saying this really bad stuff, like, oh, I'm gonna like rape your sister, like really like terrible, just stuff. And that phone call got leaked, and then his son said something about a K-pop idol, which is like equally as bad. And even despite all these leaks, he still got voted in. I think it was like 10% difference. And so like all of my friends, at least my guy friends who aren't feminists, like oh my god, we've just like, this is how the hell did he get in? So yeah, it's quite a bad situation if you're on the right. For me, I can't vote anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, this guy we've got now, yeah, he's really sus. Like, from what I've heard on the phone calls, because they got leaked, yeah, he doesn't sound like the best guy.
Moose says he had a Trump moment.
the
Yeah.
previous guy. It does kind of sound like Trump.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
actually really interesting
Yeah.
because all over the world we've gotten some Trump-ish right-wing leaders
Yep.
recently who are doing those kind of changes and stuff.
Yeah, it's everywhere. I think the world is just, well, I don't want to say it's crazy all over, but it does seem like the political situation is similar everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
So yeah, that's all I can really say. Yeah.
sounds good. All right, let's go to another question. We've got,
Sure.
what similarities do you see between ACAT and AJAT in the general study method at the beginning? Like, for example,
yeah.
in AJAT,
Sure.
we recommend skimming Tai Kim or Cure Dolly, etc., and then
Yes.
immersing while occasionally referring to grammar dictionaries. So how is that whole process like for Korean? What grammar guides do you recommend?
Right. Okay. Brilliant. Brilliant
And
question.
this is by
Because I've
Ine.
actually, you go on. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Ian. I've skimmed some of the basic Japanese, like grammar guides, like Taking or whatever. Isn't Taking Korean? Like that sounds like a Korean name. I don't know.
It does
Oh,
sound Korean.
Yeah, I can't
Uh,
remember where he's from, but it might be Korean.
Yeah. So anywho, I've skimmed through some of the basic Japanese stuff as well, so I think I'm in a semi-qualified position to answer. So there's not really an AJAT site for Korean. However, there are multiple resources. So there's these textbooks. So in Japanese I have Genki, right? Genki 1, Genki 2, all of that. There's Talk to Me in Korean textbooks, which take you through the grammar. However, I use them myself. I wouldn't recommend them. The better site to use is this one called howtolearnkorean.com, I think is the name of it. Very simple. And it's pretty much like Take In, but for Korean. It's just a bunch of grammar, and it'll just have lessons explaining how it is. It's all in English, obviously, minus the Korean part. And I would recommend, if anyone's going to start, first you learn Hangul, which is, if you just download an Anki deck, I don't really need to explain it. Like, it's saying how you learn Kana, right? Just Anki that shit, Hangul is pretty easy. And then, grammar-wise, what I'd recommend is, you go through that site, just go through each lesson, just read them once, have a rough idea, and then go in immerse. That's the best way. But in terms of grammar guides, howtolearnkorean.com, I think it's still up. It might not be up. If that's not up, try. You can look at the Talk to Me in Korean books. But personally, because the Talk to Me in Korean books, they're so not dense. There's just like one chapter will be on how would I? So there's like heyo or he, which is like heyo is like a formal and he is like informal. And it'd just be like one chapter on just that, like really small one grammar point. So the rate of progress is really slow, that's what I'm trying to say. You could be spending like hundreds of dollars on these textbooks, whereas actually if you just read it online, it'd be a lot faster. In terms of other resources, dictionaries, there's no offline Korean dictionary, apart from this one app I found on Android, and it kind of sucks because they have all the words. So for all you people who are going to do like a cabin in the woods and torrent all your shit and just be cut off from the internet, good luck with Korean. So Naver Dictionary. So Naver is like the Korean Google, essentially. Naver Dictionary is the one. There's also Kujino Google. So there's like another national Korean dictionary. Those two are fine, but I would just say use Naver. And for, I guess, learning Hanja, which is like the kanji in Japanese, you probably better off just Ankiing it as well. Just Anki that. There's a bunch of decks. There's one called, I think it's Retro's Korean Hanja deck, something like that. Just download that, rep that, learn a few hundred or so, and you'll be good to go. That's pretty much what I can say. Beginner-wise, watch whatever you want. I use webtoons. I quite like webtoons in the beginning. Watch dramas if that's the thing. Just consume whatever. Just do it the dirty way. Don't stress it. That'd be my advice.
He's watched the interview.
Just watch this interview. Yeah. Oh.
With Phantom Madman.
I mean, yes.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I got you. Yeah, I did.
We've got a comment from the One Moose. He says there's a How to Study Korean website. It looks like old AJAT one, actually. Do you know about that?
Yeah, it does look a bit like that. Yeah, so it might be How to Study Korean. Yeah, that might be what the name is. It looks like AJAT. It's got like pixelated characters, and it should have like a red background. That was the one I used, and that's awesome. I don't know who wrote it. I don't know. I've never been able to get in contact with the guy, but he sounds like an awesome individual. And you should definitely check it out.
Sounds
interesting.
Wow,
that is a website. It looks a lot better than AJAT, but has a
really?
little bit of the
charm.
Well,
that's an extremely low bar.
There's like a graphic at the top, like a really low quality banner at the top with like really weird cartoon characters that are quite like they're quite like unnerving.
We need someone to like rehost. We need someone to like rehost the AJAT website or something because it's down now.
Yeah, That's that guy Tough Get who's just doing the audio.
I Tough,
recording.
yeah.
You see that? Yeah.
Yeah.
We need
He
to
just
rehost
added me
that.
on Discord.
Oh, really?
He's the goat.
Based.
Yeah, I
What
just
a
friend
legend.
everyone, and I find out about him.
Okay.
He's an absolute legend.
He is, for doing that. Apparently, there's actually more posts. I thought that he's done all the posts, but I think he said he only did halfway, and he still plans
What?
to
There's
do
like
the rest.
400.
Yeah,
that's
He already
awesome.
has like, oh my god. Man, Katz must have been quite the writer.
he was. He's a
I
very
never actually
eloquent
read
man.
AJATT.
Dude, it's over for you.
My favorite eloquent man, Matt vs. Japan.
So we've got another question here from Coffee Henry, our boy,
Yep.
and he says, "What are the biggest / most important differences you find between the Japanese, Korean, and Mandarin learning communities?" Mostly referring to the hardcore communities like immersion.
Well, I'll
There's-
just
isn't there
say
more?
quickly, there's no community for Korean, pretty much. So there's that. I'll let you answer though, because the Mandarin I don't know.
Yeah, so, I mean, I know like a little bit about it. Like, I go in Refold Mandarin occasionally, but I'm not like part of it like I am in the Japanese learning community. But it's definitely like way smaller than the Japanese learning community. And it seems like there aren't many communities for language learning, like outside of immersion. It seems like tight-knit communities with resources and stuff. Like if you like even normies will like look up for resources and they'll find stuff that immersion learners made. Like that's where it's all happening.
Mm-hmm.
Is the emerging communities, and from just what I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
True.
But yeah, it seems like they've definitely built up some great resources.
But
And
there's not
definitely a community there, more than Korean.
There's not a lot of dedicated resource sites for normies, basically.
Yeah.
I think most people who are learning outside of immersion are learning through something like a class or Duolingo that already has a structure, so they don't have that same demand for resources.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
We've got
I
some
think it would be
more
nice
comments.
if there was like an AJATT for Korean. Oh, carry on. Yeah.
I was just gonna say we have some more comments from Zaft. I watched Korean grammar he said exclamation, but he means explanation. Videos in Japanese on my flight to Japan. And then he said, so we can go to North Korea. I think maybe he wants to go to North Korea with me. And he said there's a core 1K Korean in Japanese on AnkiWeb. Not sure what he means by in Korean. Core deck in Japanese. Maybe the definitions are in Japanese.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Based?
Yeah, I think Zaft and Lucian should go to North Korea together. Maybe get Flash in there too.
We have to explain who
If you
these
invite me, I can
wonderful
red pill them.
individuals are to
Yeah, so
George.
occasionally we get some interesting individuals join like our Discord server Yabayatsu, and there's a trend where they all seem to really like North Korea and fascism and communism. I was thinking that they'd probably get along and love to go to North Korea together.
I think.
Oh well, yeah, I could be your interpreter. Yeah, go for it.
No, their interpreter.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
of course. Yeah, not you.
Yeah, I would be interested in going though. I think it would be fun. But like Zaft is my real life friend, but he acts like a troll online. But he's like really cute and lovable in person.
Oh, I love him in person, but online, people have lowered their opinion of me because they interact with him. But he's just so cute, I can't stop.
But I think I don't know if Jared is watching this stream, but if Jared is watching this stream, I think it's really funny because I watched the archive of his stream afterwards, and like his audience is so nice and civil, and they ask questions that are like about language learning. But our audience, like my audience, is mostly like.
Really? Wait, really?
Yeah.
No way.
But his audience is all like nice people who ask questions about language learning. But my audience is mostly just people trolling and posting meme comments and stuff.
But I wanted to say, I heard about that one guy who like took a poster off of a wall in Korea, like North Korea, by accident,
Yeah.
and then he like got sent back years later, like comatose, and that makes
Yep.
me not want to
Yeah.
ever go.
Here, one sec. I'm gonna. I'm just gonna mute real quick. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay. Yep. Go for it. Just me and you now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So one thing,
Go on.
I was watching your update videos, and I noticed
Oh, thank
you
you.
you mentioned freestyle rapping, and like
Oh yeah.
I had a phase where I was interested in like listening to it. Like I
Uh-huh.
watched like basically every rap battle video,
Okay.
like in
Nice.
Japanese, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I got into it because do you know Love Is War, the anime?
No, I can't say I do. No.
Well, basically there's an episode where there's like an epic rap battle, and I thought it was like so cool. And then at like the exact same time that I watched that, there was another anime with also a rap battle.
Yeah.
It was called
Oh, is that
like
the Devil Man?
no, it
I've
was
seen
called
that one. Devil
Pariki
Cry Me.
Kome. It's called like Your
Okay.
Boy Kong Ming, I think, in English. And so there's two rap battles in like airing at the same time, and I got like super hooked. I thought they were like amazing. And then I watched this whole anime about rap called
Yeah.
Hypnosis
Yeah.
Mike, and I just thought it was like the coolest thing ever. And I was like
Yeah.
thinking how difficult would it be to like freestyle rap in a foreign language? And I actually think like that might be the most difficult thing you can do in a foreign language. Like there's no like ceiling.
Probably.
Like even
Yeah.
the best freestyle rappers could be better. Like
True. True.
and the skill floor is super high.
Mm.
Like I just think it is
100%.
like insanely difficult to do in a foreign language.
Yeah.
And I was
That is true,
wondering,
actually.
like, how did you like? What was it like when you were first freestyling? Like, was it really hard?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for the question. That's actually really good insight. I never actually spoken about this, but a lot of Korean rap they put English in there as well.
Oh
For
yeah,
me,
yeah.
I have this friend of mine who basically there's like a hip hop club, like a not a party club, like a club, you know what I'm saying, like a society, whatever, at my university. And I joined that in the first year, and like we had to do stages and basically do like rap battles against each other for like 3 months straight in Korean and in English. And yeah, I think it was just through raw exposure of just trying to do it, that I got better at it. Nowadays, my Korean friends say that I'm like really good at it, and they think, oh yeah, like this guy who's sick.
Oh really? That's
Yeah, like
insanely impressive.
I guess so, yeah. Because I think what's weird, right, is because there's not a lot of Korean sort of freestyle media or rap like that they've listened to. So they don't really know how to do it. They often, right, they end their sentences. Like I know in Japanese it ends with like a verb, right? And if you end with a verb in Korean, it kind of sounds really repetitive. It just sounds like the same. So what I would do is like I end it with like a noun and then go to a verb, which is like just, I'm sort of intellectualizing it a little bit, but when that, I think that's sort of the key difference for like SOV languages. If you use a noun at the end, you can sort of be a bit more creative with it. Whereas if you just say verb, it's just like you're conjugating grammar the whole time. It just doesn't sound as fluid. But in terms of how I got there or how I leveled up, I don't know. I just kind of did it. I was just at a certain point of output, and I listened to enough music that it just sort of started
That might
flowing.
be it.
Yeah, just
'Cause,
listen to music.
I don't listen to music that much, but like
Right.
even in English, like if I tried to freestyle rap, like I couldn't. It would be impossible. So to do that in a
Right.
foreign language, like there's this guy. Do you know Ham Slice?
Ah, yes, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's trying to be a lawyer in Japan, and I think that is like one of the most difficult things you can do in a foreign language possible.
That's probably
But
it. That's probably it.
I think like freestyle, becoming like a professional freestyle rapper, is like I've never heard of a foreigner doing
Yeah,
that in Japanese.
that's really
And I
impressive.
think that would be like one of the most difficult things. It's like live poetry.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
I think there's
super
actually a
cool.
market for it though. There's like if you can do it, like if you can practice a bit and do it, I think that's like a really good way to do it. I'm just doing, me personally, I'm just doing it as like a creative outlet. But I'll see where it goes, because like this other guy was saying to me recently, like, oh, we want to invite you to this party thing. Like, why don't you freestyle? I'm like, okay, sure. But yeah, I'm not thinking of it too seriously. But yeah, that's a really good question. Thanks for asking.
But yeah,
yeah.
Ham Slice, I might have told you about him before. He's the guy who did like super hardcore AJATT. He's probably the most
Yeah.
hardcore one ever. He cut the cables and like was like in a cabin
40,000
immersing.
hours. 40,000 hours of immersion.
Yeah,
40,000.
40,000. By the way,
What is that, like years of like 10 hours a day?
we've got a
Yeah,
comment.
Well,
Cur-
there's 8,000 hours in 1 year total, so it's
Right,
like
okay, so
it's insane.
years.
We've got some comments. Korean rap is pretty cool, actually. Then someone said, "Isn't it too dirty when you're having the Korean rap conversation?" I don't know if they're talking about Korean rap.
Yeah, when I read that, I didn't get it. I think
Yeah,
it was the thing we said right before that, but I didn't quite get what they meant.
Yeah, I
and
don't
then
get that.
someone's
I like this question.
Hugin Moonin. There's a modern philosopher who says every effort a man puts into something is usually related to his will of getting laid. Do you guys progress so far into language learning to get laid?
Probably, yeah. Sounds about right.
So I know a man. His name's Keith. On Discord,
Yeah,
he's
that's his
was it
pure.
Dinosaurus Technovorus Flex, and he is like the purest, like incarnation of like, he's a lover boy. He's great. I
Oh,
love
wow.
him. But yeah, he loves women. That is, I think, probably his only motivation.
I
I
think
think
that
that's very true.
I think it depends on the person, but I do think that getting laid is a big part of the motivation for people learning foreign
Yeah.
languages, especially certain languages. Like, but I would say
White people
almost
learning an Asian language.
yeah.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I would say almost every foreign language has some expectation of like women in this other country are hot. Like if you think about people learning, like I don't know who learns Spanish, but like Americans love Latinas. They think Latinas are hot. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
big ass Latina, big butt, like, and 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 I guarantee that that's a big part of the motivation for people who are learning Spanish. Same with like Russian, for example. Like Russian girls are hot,
Yeah.
Ukrainian girls are hot. I feel like foreign girls in general, no matter what country it is, learners of that language are going to have an expectation about the attractiveness of that country's women.
So me
100%.
personally, it's actually not a big motivation, but I'm like kind of weird. Like I'm super into like anime, otaku culture, that kind of thing.
Right.
Like I didn't even watch much like YouTube or dramas.
Yeah.
Oh, fair
From
enough.
like, to be honest, I like American women more than Japanese women. Like I don't really care about like looks. I don't like their culture like that much. For me, it was basically
I
just
don't like their
anime, and that
culture.
was my motivation, and like consuming media.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think most people I talk to, it is a very big motivation, and for a lot of people, it's their main motivation.
I think that
But
I think that there's
yeah,
like there's like a scale of how normie you are in this specific and like it's very related to this topic. Like the more normie you are, the more likely you're gonna want to get gonna want to learn a language to get laid. I feel like, but if you're really into
But if you
otaku
go too
stuff,
far,
yeah,
but you can't go too far.
if you go too far, then uh, you're like poof.
You become like Poof. Yeah. Do you want to explain who Poof is?
He's like a guy who's he lives in Japan, and the
Yeah.
sole reason of his existence is to get laid as much as possible, and he really wants you to know. He talks about it a lot,
Wow.
and don't
How
get me
many
wrong,
times has he gotten
it's
banned?
it's interesting. It's interesting, but it's all he talks
Yeah.
about.
I mean, there's no one way to live life. So yeah. But the question
Yeah.
I had, actually a good question after you said that. What was your sort of expectation versus reality for like Japanese women, or like what you thought versus how it actually is?
I think I had pretty realistic expectations because
Yeah.
I was immersing with a lot of different kinds of content, but so I didn't think Japanese women were like anime or something. But I definitely
Yeah.
I definitely had the expectation that Japanese women were cute and more feminine than women in
Right.
America. And in general, I never had any like dating experience in the West anyway. And like my most
Yeah.
formative
Yeah.
my most formative years were spent learning Japanese. So like I was like completely
That's
AJATting.
over.
I was completely AJATting like the whole time. So
Yeah.
like when I was younger, I had like crushes on like American girls and stuff. But
Yeah.
once I got into the AJAT stuff, I just completely lost interest in American culture and people in general. And I also lost interest in American women entirely. So like I could never imagine myself dating someone from America. And I mean,
Yeah.
I do think
Yeah.
that I do think that Japanese women are cuter and more feminine on average than Americans. But I think that they're not as different as people say. That like they're at the end of the day, everyone is just a human being, and people everywhere are probably more similar than you think. Like in
That's
every
yeah.
country, they like to portray other cultures as being drastically different from their own. Like if you've ever seen content for normie content oriented for normies about Japan or about Korea, you probably know how inaccurate that content is. Like
Yep.
they'll take one single event that happened and say like that's the entire culture of Japan, and so I think that I think that every culture in shows other cultures as being so different, but in reality, Japanese people are just mostly the same. They're just human beings, and they have some differences, but at the end of the day, we're all just human beings.
100%. Yeah, and I think you put that really, really well. Yeah, that's like I could resonate definitely with the whole AJATting during your youth and missing out on the opportunity. But yeah, no, you're totally right. I think it's just everyone is just humans are humans at the end of the day. Yeah,
Yeah.
straight up.
We've got some comments, by the way. I guess it's also related to general, maybe he means general understanding of rap. I have a friend who's German and raps in German. He learned Japanese at around N2 and can rap in Japanese amazingly well. And I think actually in Japanese rap, I don't know if it's the same in Korean, but as you said, they use a lot of English words. It's the same in Japanese
Yeah.
rap. And they also actually kind of have like an American accent or like a English accent
Oh yeah, yeah.
when they rap.
Yeah.
So even if
Okay.
you're not that good at Japanese, you could be good at rap as long as you have the vocab.
Did they say
Exactly. Yeah, I
stuff
think the same.
like yo 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 a lot?
Yeah, definitely.
And one thing I find really interesting is there's like thousands of English words just in Japanese, and like in song lyrics and stuff, like there's like half English words, and then half of those English words are in katakana, and the other half are written in English. And
Right.
like the ones commonly used normally are in katakana, but then the ones that they just put in that Japanese people don't usually know are in like Roman characters.
Yeah.
So like if you didn't know Japanese and looked at it, you'd be like, oh, like a fourth of it's English, but it's actually half of it's English.
Right.
Um,
But like it
There-
gets, like that one Mashal opening song, like Bling Bang Born, is like actually like half English. There's a lot of English.
I don't know
songs
if
and
he knows
stuff.
what that is, but yeah,
I don't.
It was
but
super
yeah.
famous on TikTok.
TikTok.
So I thought he might.
I'm not a TikTok user.
He's not a
I
TikToker.
mean, I've never used it, but it was really famous for a while.
Yeah.
So,
And about when we were having the girl conversation, someone said, "Why, why else would someone learn Swedish, right?" Ah ha ha. Like I don't know.
yeah.
Have you heard anything about Swedish girls? Because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I have. I actually had someone who learned, well, not Swedish, like Norwegian, for that sort of reason.
Same
Apparently,
thing.
Scandinavia
Okay.
is where it's at. Yeah.
The moral of the story: we should all become passport bros.
We already are.
Yeah, Chinese is the best. Chinese is the best language for that.
Yeah, no. Yeah, definitely.
I think there's a difference between a passport bro and a guy who actually is like learning the culture of the country and is like there to integrate. But like a passport bro, I feel like is a guy who's just there to get laid and he's like knows a couple words and that's it.
Yeah.
But-
Once you go past like a few hundred words, your like attractiveness goes down.
Wait, does Korea have the Gaijin hunter thing with like they like foreigners who are like bad at Korean?
No.
No.
If anything, it's like the opposite. It's kind of like, yeah, like you need to know your shit. Although, to be honest, the reason I asked you earlier about like what's your expectation versus reality was that a lot of guys, especially white guys who go to Asia to like meet Asian girls or whatever, they sometimes think it's like easier or it's going to be easier than the West or anything like that. In my experience, it's been actually a lot harder, although I probably had more romantic experience here. I think like especially with Korea being like how image based and judgmental like the society is, I think it's like actually a lot harder. So like if you're thinking that if you're that guy who's like I'm gonna learn a language to get girls and get laid and stuff. Korean's probably not the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to get laid,
probably Japanese
you should just learn Chinese if you want to get laid.
Yeah, straight up. I think
Or
I think
Thai
that
or
is the answer.
something. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Thai,
I mean,
Thai is solid.
I think Japan's dating. I think it's way easier to date in Japan than it is in the West. But it's not like you're instantly handed a woman just by when you pull up.
Yes.
But there's
Yeah, yeah.
there's like a sub demographic of girls who like foreigners who are like kind of bad at Japanese, and they're like gaijin hunters. I'm sure you've heard about gaijin hunters before.
I have heard of it, yeah.
But in general, most Japanese girls wouldn't date a foreigner unless they're like pretty fully fluent in Japanese. Like my girlfriend definitely would never be able to date me if I didn't speak Japanese.
Right. Actually, one thing I was going to touch on there where you said is, I think it's a little bit different. This is another difference for China and Korea. I think Korea is probably the hardest country to actually make small talk. So you said before, like, you used to go around and just like, say whatever, konnichiwa, whatever, and just like small talk people up, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in Korea, people just ignore you. Like there's like really cold energy. I don't know if that's just Seoul, right? But I've tried quite a few times, just like say, oh, hello, good morning, whatever. And people just like don't know what to do. Like it's very, very. Actually, I looked up. I mean, this is according to ChatGPT, so there's a lot of marginal error. But apparently, Korean society is one of the hardest to talk to strangers. Like actually instigate sort of spontaneous interaction like that. Yeah, I think it probably might just be a Seoul thing. I don't know, but
well, I actually think it's way easier than you think to talk to strangers in Tokyo, because I mean I do it all the time, but you have to go to specific places. You can't do it in like just anywhere. Like there's certain places
where
where
people... If we're going to talk about rats, gotta go
if you're going to talk about rats. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's certain places where people go and they're free and they're there to hang out and they don't care, But in general, if you're just talking to like a random person on the street, they're like, I gotta go to work. Like, I'm not here to talk to some random gaijin.
Yeah, so I mean, there's probably some similarity, but yeah, I definitely found that to be a strong factor.
Yeah. We've got some other comments here. Meanwhile, ESL learners just won a green card. Yep, yeah. And one moose, haha, that's such a good question from him. This guy's great. I don't know which question that was about.
Who's him?
No, but Moose likes the question about girls, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, the girls question. And then Japanese people kind of get creative with their English words too, like kospa, paripi, rivenji, and sarariman. Yeah. They have like their waseigo, like Japanese
English. Yeah, there's
English.
this word that means... sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sometimes you just say words and don't explain them, so I was going to, but then you explained it yourself.
Yeah. I have a habit of assuming that they already know Japanese, even though they probably don't, but I'm not sure. What's this? What is he right here? Pocahontas. Pocahontas-ke. I've never heard of that before. Do you know that?
Me neither. No, I mean like Pocahontas, like the Native American.
Yeah, I assume that's what it is.
I don't even know. Is it the movie? I don't even know, dude. Am I thinking of Sacagawea? I need to study up.
You need to study up on your Native American lore, Wyatt.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to a different question. First, okay. For sure, Japan, Korea. I think actually, Coffee also wrote this one. For sure, Japan, Korea, and China are quite separate in pop culture. There's a clear cultural divide in the West between weebs and Koreaboos / K-pop stans, while Chinese cultural devotees seem to barely exist. I'm wondering how that gap, or does or doesn't, manifest in their respective language learning communities.
Well, I mean, like, the Japanese community is very shaped by, like, anime. Like, almost everyone learning Japanese at least watches some. And it's, like, a very large reason for a lot of people. So, like, I mean, how often do people watch dramas to learn Korean versus other types of content?
Yeah, pretty much everyone.
Yeah, because in Japanese, there's a lot of people who like
It's the
don't
same.
watch any dramas, or at least not very much,
Right,
because they're not known
right,
to be very good.
right.
And then Chinese, it's like my like image is that there's a lot of girls who like Chinese dramas, but it's still pretty underground, and there's not really like a big community. But I do
Hmm.
think dramas are a very big part of Chinese, like
They're more
China's
popular
cultural
than
export.
Japanese dramas, for sure. And then
Yeah, I
Chinese
think it is just
anime.
that media. Like, mm,
Hmm.
mm. Depends on what media is available, right? Mm.
And then the Chinese anime seem like they might be getting popular, but as Wyatt said before, there's like there's like 5 good Chinese anime, and everyone hypes it up and says Chinese anime is often awesome, but most Chinese anime suck.
They're actually like impressively bad. You would be impressed.
Hmm.
So,
So we've got
But yeah, there's one good
hmm
one this season called like was it Hypercube or was it
mm.
Supercube, something like that. And that one's good this season. But there's like one good Chinese anime a year.
But they always the anime community always hypes it up like Chinese anime is gonna take over the world and like it's over for Japan, but there's like only one or two a year. But
Oh yeah, there was this like
mhm.
gay like Yuri anime that had a
oh,
trailer that was
lovely.
Chinese. And it was super popular on Twitter with this trailer
Mhm.
because the animation looked really good. But it's been like a year and there's been like no other announcements.
Mhm.
Like we don't even know the release date. So people are like like they see the trailer, think, oh, it's gonna be great, and then forget that it never happened, and then think that Chinese anime are great.
Yeah, but it never even came out.
Yeah,
We've
not
we've
yet.
got we've got a comment. Explain Ana Kyodai.
I think the dictionary's got you covered.
Yeah, Ana Kyodai is what I want to be with Wyatt one day.
Oh,
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It might happen unknowingly. Who knows?
Yeah. I hope not. I hope that never happens.
What's the Anakyo was theft?
Yeah. Yeah, we can share Zaft.
Sorry, George. Sorry about that.
yeah, I'm just completely lost.
It's-
It's probably something sexual. So,
Yeah, it's when two guys when two guys have had sex with the same woman.
Oh,
Like Eskimo Bros is
Brilliant.
what they call them in English.
Is that what they call them?
Yeah, I
I've
think.
never heard of that.
Thank you for
No,
educating
I've only
me.
heard of it because people say that that's what the English is after saying the
Mhm.
Japanese. I don't actually know the word.
Oh. Okay. So then we have it's like Gaijin Hunter and then I love China, man. I know you love China. Dude, China's the best. We should all just go to China.
Yeah.
We have Zaft asks what are our opinions on interracial couples, and I'm gonna say I
No comment.
I mean,
just don't even talk about
I
it.
mean, no comment
don't
makes it
get on
sounds
that.
like you don't approve, but like I love interracial couples, and I think we should. I think we should breed. I think we should breed whites out of existence, and
I
we
think
should.
you lost the second you read that comment.
Yeah.
You've already lost.
See, they want me
They've got
to
you,
say
they've got you.
something, but I'm just saying I love Japanese women, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So.
Amen. Amen.
Yellow fever pride.
Yellow,
From a
yeah,
terminal yellow
dude,
fever.
I have pride in yellow fever. Like people are ashamed of their yellow fever, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's the same as like
Mm.
a preference. Like if you like
Mhm.
girls with big boobs or small boobs or big ass or not, it's the same as a race in my opinion. Like I
Yeah.
prefer Asian women. It's the same to me. But
Yeah, that's pretty gangster though.
yeah,
Yeah, Moose
and then-
asks if you want to make a Korean learning community. George.
To me, that would be
ACAT.
fantastic. The only thing is, who would be part of it? There's that. There's this guy, right, John, who speaks Korean, and he only speaks to me in Korean. He's a white guy, American, and he refuses to speak English. I'm like, okay. And he has this channel in Korean where he teaches Korean people English. He's got this massive community of English learners who are
Oh, really?
Koreans. So I could probably do something like the reverse of that, for AJATT for Korean learners. And there's this other guy as well called Ian, Korean Patch, is his YouTube. Again, he's interested in making a community, but there's these people who are they're the individuals, but we're not really connecting because it's not really. You know how Japan, like living in Japan, is quite on YouTube, it's quite advertised and there's this whole aesthetic to it. I don't think there's the same aesthetic to Korea. It's kind of Korea's like a little bit rough around the edges. Like it's based. You've seen the apartments, right? Like the commie blocks. It's maybe not as aesthetic or as sellable, but yeah, in terms of do I want to make tea, kind of make new tea? I think yes, I would love to. Just send me some interest. If there's people interested, I'll be happy to get in contact and do something. But already I've got my channel.
It seems a lot more niche, but and also it seems like there's a lot more surface level. Like there's a lot of people that are interested in Korea and like Korean stuff for a short amount of time, but not consistently. Like with Japan, there's this massive community of people who love anime and always watch anime. But with Korea, it seems like every once in a while there's a drama that gets really popular, like Squid Game, and then there's an influx of people who are interested in Korea and Korean, and then it quickly dies off. Like I haven't heard about Korea that much for a while, but there's a lot of people who want to learn Korean in Japan because Korean culture is really popular here, but in the West, I feel like it's more of a fad.
Yeah. I think a Korean culture in general, mainstream culture, like you said, is quite superficial. It's very fast-paced. It's very hyper-connected as well. People are always on their phones here, and that can be a good or a bad thing. But I think with Japan, it's got like deep history. It's got a lot more. I'd say the culture is a little bit deeper, and that's not to say that Korea lacks depth. It's just that Japanese culture is way more well known. So even if you didn't like anime, you might like samurais, or you might like ramen, or whatever the hell, like all these different aspects to it. Whereas most people haven't really heard of like. I don't know, Gyeongju or some like random place in Korea, or like bibimbap, or like these Korean foods. It's kind of only becoming popular now, but like you say, it's very trend based, which is actually sort of Korean culture in a whole. It's like very trendy, superficial, not that deep. I would say.
Well, I actually disagree. I think it's purely a numbers issue, because like the number of Japanese learners is like not very high. There's probably only like a few tens of thousands of like fluent learners, but there's like tens of millions of anime fans, and I think it's just purely like there's like less than a tenth of the number of people interested in Korea. Like one of my friends I made at college is super into K-pop. Like he is in the club. He what is it? Choreographs all these dances and has this like every like year there's like a whole event for it. But I don't know. I just don't know anyone who's like actually good at Korean. There's this huge community of people who dedicated their main hobby and like many hours every week.
I think that learning Korean is just less popular. Like the idea of learning Korean is less popular and less advertised than Japanese in general. So even if there are people who are interested in Korea, they're less likely to learn Korean. But learning Japanese is almost like a universal thing. Like every weeb has tried to do Duolingo or like try and learn some Japanese before. Whereas that culture doesn't really exist with the Korean stuff.
Yeah, like you said, it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural and sort of demographic thing. Both of them, interplay.
Yeah.
I don't really know how you fix that. I don't really know how to make Korean culture more appealing. I think it is what it is. And by 2050, there might not be a country called Korea anymore, so I wouldn't stress it so much.
But I totally agree, Moose. Like, by the way, it got really loud, George.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit.
But I agree with Moose here. Like K-dramas are pretty good, and I've watched quite a few K-dramas dubbed in Japanese, and I honestly thought they were pretty good. The production qualities are really high. They're usually well made. He said they're bad because it's a bit too heavy on the culture. I'm not sure what he was talking about, but probably something we were talking about at that time. Maybe Chinese stuff. But yeah, I think the Chinese, from the Chinese content I've seen, it does require like a lot of cultural understanding to follow. Like, there's a lot of lore, like Chinese lore. Would you agree with that, Wyatt?
Uh, I mean, yeah, yeah.
At least it seems like required to like you need to know more about Chinese culture than you would for anime.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that. There's like less, I mean, it's less advertised. People just don't know as much.
Mm-hmm. Um, and so Normie watches that and turn off instantly. And then Hardcore Japanese says Genshin and Honkai Star Rail needs their own anime for real. Can you comment on that?
uh, you know me.
Yeah, I haven't played those games, but I've definitely heard about them. Then we've got someone with a Chinese name says yo, and then posted something in Chinese, but I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means, Wyatt?
Just like a greeting.
Okay. And then we've got I don't know if oh yeah, we already asked this one. And here I think George you can try and unmute because it's lonely without you. Your
Yeah.
background
Oh,
noise
okay,
actually makes it less lonely.
Oh, seriously?
I feel like I'm in Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's better now anyway. Then we have a comment.
Okay.
Second generation Asian girls usually hate a lot of yellow fever. From what I could perceive, they're also vocal about this. Perhaps they went through fetishization many times in the West. Well, I think that this is just a general phenomenon that when people become westernized, they become concerned about things that they never cared about before. Like
Yeah.
you never see like Japanese people talking about like, oh, I hate that foreigners like Japanese girls and think they're attractive. They'll always be like, oh, yeah, like you like Japanese girls. Like they always, I think it's funny. They think it's funny that foreigners like Japanese girls, but then when people like the second generation, third generation immigrants who are disconnected from their home cultures tend to be the ones that get mad about this kind of stuff. It's the same with like the Latino, Latinx, whatever the hell was going on over there. Like I've never heard an actual Mexican or anyone who lives in a Latin speaking country think that that's like all my Brazilian friends think that's retarded. All anyone I know from Mexico thinks it's dumb. But that's like a very Western thing, being worried about like fetishization of Asian girls. Like that's the kind of thing that only Westerners would be mad about, and no one else really
Yeah.
cares.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a non-issue because I did talk to this Korean lady at my
Mm-hmm.
university, and she said like it was really annoying because
Mm-hmm.
people would like constantly like try to date her because she was
Well,
Korean, and she said it was really
it's
annoying.
different if you're in the country. I mean,
Yeah.
like if they, it's the same with the Japanese girls who come here. They all hate it. Like
Oh, no, no, no.
they.
She was like native English speaker. I don't think she knows Korean.
Oh, okay,
She was like
I
ethnically
see.
full Korean, but
That
grew
makes
up in
sense.
America.
I think that's fair if you actually live in America and you're dealing with that. But I mean, I what I more meant was like people from Korea that live in Korea, or people from Japan live
Yeah.
in
Right.
Japan.
Well, they're saying second generation people, so that's
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah, yeah, that makes
It's
sense.
just like it's not a non-issue, but I
Mm-hmm.
just don't think there's really a solution. Like, what are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't make people not like Asian girls anymore.
I think that it would be. I think that it's just if you're an attractive woman, that's gonna happen, and like,
Mm.
and there's certain people where you get extra points for being Asian. So to them, you're like attractive, so they behave in that way. But if you're an attractive white girl, you get the same creepy guys, annoying guys, like trying to go date you or get laid. But you just get attention from a specific demographic because you're Asian, and to those people, it's like you get extra points, so they'll want to go after you. But like all the Japanese girls that come to my university, they always have this issue. There's like this, there's like this specific demographic of guys who love Japanese girls, and they have very similar characteristics. They tend to not speak Japanese, they tend to be kind of a chud.
Clingy.
Yeah.
Chud-like and clingy.
To put it blatantly, they tend to be not very attractive and kind of like chuddy, and they
Well, they're
they don't.
nerdy and into.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
nerdy and they like anime, and they think that Japanese girls are like Yamato Nareshiko. Do you know like what that means? It's kind of like this like.
Why would he know?
Well,
I missed that.
it's like this idea, like this traditional, like they think that Japanese girls are like these sweet traditional women who are like
Right.
gonna like be head over
Right.
heels, and they
Submissive.
can like
Yeah.
submissive
Be a
women.
trad wife.
Yeah, trad wife.
Yeah.
Whereas
Trad wife,
in
yeah,
reality, most Japanese girls aren't really like that. They're just normal girls, especially if they grew up in the city, which is where most of them come from. They're just there's kind of like an urban monoculture all across the world, and they're just not that much different from Americans. But this image is like really strong with anime watching chuds of the world.
Well said. Well said.
No further comments on this topic.
No. You handled that well. Yep.
Then
Next
Zaft,
question.
I'm just gonna ignore Zaft's comment here, and then someone says,
Good choice.
"Hey Seven Stop, did you have any weird experiences with Japanese cults? I was just walking in a garden in Saitama, and was accidentally it was accidentally the headquarters of Kenshokai. I don't know what that is, but I assume it's a cult. They invited him to join. No, I haven't had any run-ins with cults, but me and Wyatt did have a really interesting experience in a taxi once. Remember that?
No.
Remember the guy
Wait,
who
was
was
it?
the guy in when we were in the mountains in Fukuoka, and he was driving us to that mountain, and he was talking about like the
Oh, yeah.
conspiracy stuff.
I remember talking about like literature. Was it the same guy
I don't know, but
I talked about literature with?
he had a bunch of interesting theories about the world, and he believed in QAnon. He was talking about like Trump and like QAnon, and you don't remember that?
That's probably white noising it.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
But yeah, he had some interesting opinions. But no, I've never had an actual cult interaction in Japan. Do they have that in Korea? The cult thing, like
Cults? Yeah.
in
Loads.
in Japan,
Loads.
they have this idea that like they try and recruit foreigners into cults.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got the exact same thing. They usually ask you, so they'll say like, "Oh, hey, no, we're not a cult. We're just people studying. We just study. We come join a study group," and they start talking about shit like, I don't actually know. So there's like this Confucius scholar, and there's like some moral code. I forgot the name of the actual guy, but there's like this 4 like moral code. And they'll be like, "Oh, do you know about like this like a like a 4-word? They'll say like a 4-word proverb, which means like honor or respect, blah 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 blah." And then they're trying to explain it that way. Usually the cults, they're just like they get anyone in, even if it's foreigners, whatever, and they like initiation fees, come join to this. Well, you know how cults work, but basically, cults are rampant in Korea as well.
Yeah,
Like,
it actually sounds exactly the same as Japan. Like, they have the initiation fees, and then they'll try and make you buy random shit. Like, there's like this joke about like they'll try and sell you I don't know, like vases, jars, or like this word subo, but like there's like a meme, like they'll say like, "Oh, dude, like be careful, this person might try and sell you some vases," and it's like a joke about cults. Pots.
Right.
But yeah, it sounds exactly the same. And actually, they have Korean cults active in Japan that are pretty popular, like Soka Gakkai.
Wow.
I don't know what it's called in Korea, but or Soka. I don't know if it's Soka Gakkai. I think Toitsu
Like,
Kyokai.
what are the characters?
Toitsu Kyokai is like really famous. Oh shit! Your camera just turned off.
Oh yeah, shit. my battery's kind of low. I'm on 20%, so
Oh man.
we
Do
might
you
have
have
to
a?
do without the camera.
All right.
Charger?
I don't have a plug. So if I see, but I'm in the cafe right now, yeah, and my hostel is like maybe 10-minute walk down the road. If I go there, I can like hop on my laptop and plug in, and like I can come back.
But
should I do that now, or should I wait until like I'm at battery?
well, how long is it gonna take?
If I walk now, it'll probably take like 10, 15 minutes to get there. So I'll be gone for like that
Well, I
long,
mean,
and then come back.
you'll be able to. Will you be able to call in the hostel?
So there's like an outdoor space. So assuming I can get Wi-Fi, I will be able to. But I mean, probably the safest bet is for me to stay put right now. But that means I lost my face.
I mean, I think it's
So,
fine. We can just do it like
yeah.
this for now.
Yeah, let's just do it like this
Alright.
until I run out. Yeah.
All right.
I'll let you know if I do.
Because
Yeah. All right.
oh yeah, is that me and Zaft want to join a cult, or he wants to join a cult with me, a Japan cult. Maybe we'll do that if we have the opportunity. I would be open to joining a cult, not actually joining, but just going to their event and seeing what's going on.
Bruh.
Then
Sounds like a fantastic idea.
New Sereno
You guys heard about?
Creek Barino. He says there was a guy who dated a girl in a cult who talked about it. Yeah, that was Ham Slice.
Oh yeah. Was it Happy Science? With him
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What were you saying, George?
I was gonna say if you guys heard about the Raelian cult stuff. So
Oh, no.
apparently,
No.
So you know Kanye West. He posted a picture ages ago of like this flag, which is like a Jewish flag, a Nazi symbol, and basically the cult is called the Raelian cult, right? And I thought that was just like only in America or in the West. Apparently, they have like a small version of it in Korea where 300 people are part of it. And like, I googled it, and you see like these topless women with like holding signs saying like like let the UFOs come to Korea. It's wild.
Oh.
So
Oh,
yeah, if you look
okay.
that up, like Raelian. You'll see like it's like actually a lot more global, and it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I just wanted to just mention that because it's one of the wacky cults that I've seen. But yeah, that was that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a cult max. Then we have one Moose says K-dramas are the only connection I have to Korean women. LMAO. You can say things and they aren't interested, but name a random K-drama and they light up instantly. Then Cooldown says, I have the opposite issue. I get hit on by non-Japanese Asians. Must be a sexy man.
Yeah.
True.
Chad.
Then Expired Kermit, he says, I love you. I love you too.
Spread
Read
love.
the next
Yeah.
one.
Do you love me? Who are you? Expired Kermit is our friend, by the way. Almost everyone in this chat is our friend. I wonder how many people are watching that aren't friends with us.
Yeah.
Go to Saitama, haha. Don't mind me just Googling that for science. Oh, the topless women?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like something Moose would Google.
I think he'd be really interested in that.
Yeah, well, I know a guy who knows a guy.
Oh, maybe you can get the
Okay.
connect. You can be the connect.
Yeah, Mad Connects.
You know a guy who knows a woman?
Indeed, I do.
Oh my god, you know a guy who knows a woman?
So you-
Oh, it's Sept. Sepsto Channel. Have you been to Fukuoka? Yeah, I've been to Fukuoka. I just was there last week.
Oh yeah, you never stopped showing your location with me, so I saw when
Oh,
you were
really?
with Riku. Yeah.
I'm being tracked.
doxing
Oh,
yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello Google, what are topless women?
That's
I'm not sure. I'll have to Google that. Let me Google that one real quick.
let me look that one
Is
up.
that in the dictionary?
Oh, Moose found it. He found the cult.
Oh,
Oh,
post it in the chat.
Dude, I'm debating
Make
whether
up
I
some
should
fake
even
chat.
leave this archive at this point. It's fine.
You can trim it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Medley says, what's the point of studying languages since we will all have Neuralink chips in 5 years and at that point be speaking mentalese?
No.
No.
I think I think the only thing that the
Yeah.
chips can do right now is kill monkeys.
Yeah. I think
No.
I think that in
But
all periods of
Elaborate.
history, the speed and the way in which technology develops is always exaggerated. Like people thought we would have flying cars by now, but flying cars
Yeah.
aren't practical. No one's going to use a flying car.
Yeah.
And I think like people hype up like
They
AI
have
is going to
girlfriends on
make
the other hand.
language.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
AI
don't
is
be
going to make
autistic.
language
He's just
irrelevant.
asking. Yeah.
No, I'm just
That's what he's
saying that
asking.
people always say stuff like this, like, "Oh, is language going to be irrelevant in X years?" Well, I think maybe Korean will be irrelevant because no one will be left to speak it. But
Yeah, Korean's gonna be
Yeah,
obsolete.
that was for sure.
it's
Yeah.
like the day soon coming where we'll all speak English, we'll all speak the same language, and I don't really know, or like will
Probably not.
neurochips solve language? But I think that day will probably not be coming anytime soon. I think I think that we have to look at a historical perspective because right now we're in a really unprecedented time in history where the world is at relative peace and we're all like under the American world order. Pax Americana is what
Yep.
it's called. But in the past there was like Pax Romana, and during that time then everyone was like trying to speak Roman or whatever language they spoke. I can't remember what the
Latin,
language
right?
is. But I think that we have the difference is that we have the internet and technology to make that like like make it more widespread to spread English, but I'm not really convinced that English or any language is going to replace all other languages. But languages are going to die out, and new languages are going to be born over time, as always.
But I do think, like, if AI becomes as good as the best translator and all media ever can be translated extremely well, that does, like, for Japanese, I think that basically doesn't change very much at all. Because basically any of the content I'd ever want to read in Japanese is already translated.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, live translation, like, interpretation, like, talking with people, I think you couldn't really form a close bond with someone just through translation.
Mm-hmm.
Because like jokes wouldn't land. You still don't have the
Mm-hmm.
cultural knowledge. You can't talk about cultural specific things. Like there would be, even with perfect interpretation, there would still be a very large barrier between
Mm-hmm.
communication if you're not speaking the same language.
Yeah.
So I don't think that makes it obsolete at all. That's only like the useful feature of the language, but most people don't learn it because it's useful. They learn it because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Right.
it doesn't change very much at all.
Well,
The AI
there,
and translation.
there's
Yeah,
definitely
well, random
intangible
observation.
benefits. Like, there's intangible benefits beside, like, if the only goal of learning a language is to simply be understood, then that's not going to be very relevant anymore because eventually you're just going to be able to use translation. Maybe they'll have some magic chip that, I mean, with voice recognition and AI, I think it's pretty realistic that we could have some kind of device that translates a voice in real time or something like that. And so you could like be just being just being understood in and of itself won't be valuable anymore. But there's the
Mm-hmm.
intangible benefits of building a connection with someone, using your voice, speaking a language, and being able to consume and understand content in a foreign language is still going to be valuable.
So for me,
And high level
maybe
language
the
learning.
Yeah.
maybe the biggest benefit, I would never read a book in English. Like I've never been interested in literature or reading a book in English.
Mhm.
But I read a lot just because I started reading in Japanese for the benefits, and then I just started liking it a lot. And now I just read in Japanese all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't know, it like the fact it's in a foreign language allows me to enjoy it, the literature for what it is, but I would never enjoy it in English.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like,
Have you,
I don't know, very
tried to read-
enriching in my life. Or what
have you
was
never,
that?
like, have you never tried to like delve into English literature now that you've read Japanese, or is it still not?
Nah, dude. Like I had to read for school. Dude, ever since high school, I even tried to read
Yeah.
all the books for English class in Japanese.
Yeah.
Like if they had a translation, I'd always read it. Like Frankenstein, Born a Crime. I actually didn't read Shakespeare. That one was too annoying. But the ones that didn't have a translation, I had to read in English. But I was like, it's so uninteresting.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only thing keeping you there is the plot, and it's like I
Well,
don't care that much.
I would read something that's not literary. Like I would read an educational book in English or something that would I would gain something from, but I would never read literature in English again. Like I would
Oh yeah,
really
no, I only
I would
read
read like
fiction.
a I would read like a nonfiction book in English, like geopolitics or
Yeah.
something, for the value of the information, but not for the entertainment value. But like for in Japanese, I would do anything just because it's in Japanese, for like the
Wow.
entertainment based.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
George,
but
I
yeah, go on.
remember.
Yeah.
Here, you should say your thing first. This is a new topic.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say that that's quite interesting because at least for me, I read in both Korean and English, obviously, but I don't really pull the distinction between fiction or entertainment. I just read whatever. Like if I feel like reading English, I'll read English. If I feel like reading Korean, I'll read Korean. I enjoy them both equally, I think. So that's
I
just the
see.
difference for me. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, you can carry on though.
Yeah, so you mentioned audiobooks in one of your videos, and I'm like the biggest audiobook fan. I want to know your
Oh
opinion
wow.
on audiobooks.
Yeah. So well, my opinion on audiobooks is first of all, Korea doesn't have any. Or
Dude, it's so over.
it does, but it's like they're all behind a paywall, so you have to pay for like a subscription service. And
Well, I mean,
you
yeah.
know, I love, yeah, but like, I'm the type of guy who likes their stuff offline. I want to listen to that on an MP3, and that's really, really hard to source in Korean. Even Korean ebooks are quite hard to find now, but I mean, it's gotten better over the years. But in terms of audiobooks in general, I probably never listened to in English. I I guess I actually don't enjoy listening to audiobooks. I just find it really dry and just kind of hard,
You're
and
one
I
of
feel like I
those.
can read a lot faster with my eyes, right? So I prefer to read naturally, but for the sake of like improving my pronunciation, then I think audiobooks is a great tool. It's just I can't really force it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So, for me, I actually don't like read non-audiobooks anymore. I like sync the subtitles to the audiobook so I can just look
Oh
down
wow.
whenever I need to. But I used to read on the school bus, like in high school, but I don't have that anymore. So
Yeah.
I never like just read, but I listen to audiobooks all the time. And
That's what it is. Yeah.
probably my favorite part is with Japanese, the written language is like
Yeah.
there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with like kanji
Yeah. Sure.
that you
Yeah.
can't really do like speaking. So like listening to Japanese being read aloud is actually like way harder than like English would be because there's way more stuff going on, and it's like really fun for me to like try to figure out what they're doing. Like if you say like two like homophones in a row, like
Yeah.
this one sentence like kenko nishite kenko, there's these two words
Okay.
kenko, and one of
Yeah.
them is
Yeah.
super common, it means health, and the other one
Yeah.
is
Right.
like incredibly weird and autistic and rare, and it means like I don't know, like high energy.
I don't know that
And
word.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
it'd be super easy to just look at it, be like, oh, it's two different words. But in general, Japanese has like a really high skill ceiling because of the homophones and the writing style and culture. And I think it's really fun trying to figure out what they're saying,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's really hard.
That's interesting. Yeah, because like I know with like the kanji, like there's a lot of them which might be exactly like you say written differently on paper but pronounced the same. Whereas at least in Korean, they're all written exactly the same. You just have to know. Like there's this one word which has like 17 dictionary definitions. Like the word "gusu" can mean like master. It can mean something like I guess like that
Mhm.
sour. Or something. Like, there's just a bunch of definitions. So I think Korean has the opposite problem, whereas because they don't use the characters, it's like the same sort of thing. You have to work it out, but it's a lot harder.
Oh, yeah,
Whereas,
yeah.
like Japanese, it's sort of printed there for you, so you don't have to necessarily look it up if you know the characters. Yeah.
Yeah. But then if you're listening, you don't get the benefit. Oh, yeah, another example. There's this word kizen, which means like to do
Okay.
decisively. But there's another really weird word that means like to sigh. Kizen.
Okay.
And it's like, you would never understand. It's actually almost impossible
The way they're
to hear
used
this
is
word.
the same. Yeah.
Mm,
Well, you'd have to be really really good and know that word, like have it in your active like
Mhm.
vocab, and be thinking
Yeah.
every time you hear kizen that it might be the weird one, and that's a really fun challenge for me.
Mm-hmm. Autistic challenge.
it's like, yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's quite intellectual. Yeah.
but I actually I like I've added every word like unknown word to Anki, and I've always
Wow.
done that. I've never not done that,
Wow.
and I don't know, I really like learning useless words. Like Matt, I remember Matt talked
Mhm.
about
Yeah.
like I had that point where I was like, oh, like I had the realization this is all completely pointless. I worked past that point where now it's like it's purely just for the fun of it, and I'm
Mhm.
still going.
That's the best place to be though, doing it for fun rather than like you have to or some sort of
Yeah, yeah. I
obligation. I
remember
mean, that is AJATT. Yeah,
you said that you like. I think it was in your 3-year interview. You said
yeah.
not interview, your update. You said
Update.
like
Yeah.
you just didn't feel the need to learn any more words because you already knew like
Mm.
everything.
Mm. Yeah, I think I got to the point where it's like now if I see an unknown word, I might look up. I feel like it. If I don't, I won't, and that's kind of it. Because the way I see my career, I used to be super perfectionist. I was like, I'm gonna get to native level. I'm gonna get there. And the closer I got, I think it's a common experience that you see the horizon of native, and you realize it just keeps going, going, going that way. You never really get there.
Mhm.
And my sort of mindset in life now is that English is my language for being articulate and being really precise. And yeah, choosing my words wisely. Whereas Korean, I'm just sort of using it as a tool to live and just use for daily life. So even if I'm not the most articulate, of course being articulate helps, but I'm not stressing about improving it as much.
Mhm.
I don't really have. To be fair, I do talk a lot about philosophy and spirituality in Korean sometimes, and it would be helpful to have the better vocabulary. But I suppose I don't know. I don't find it fun. I think that's the issue. I don't enjoy it as much as I used to. But maybe I'll get to
Okay.
that stage where you're at, and and I enjoy it. That'll be that.
No,
But I think the
I
only
don't
reason
think
to do
you
it is for
will or
enjoyment.
should.
Yes.
I actually, I
Yeah.
only know a few people who are like more
Yeah.
interested in useless words than me. Like there's this guy,
Mm.
there's Tism, Kaoru, and there was one other
Tism.
guy.
His name is literally Tizza.
Well,
Who was that other guy?
yeah.
There's another guy who like has so many words. Yeah, Kaoru is a legend. He's insane.
Mm. I think I don't know about you guys, but I think I prefer learning rare words in English. Do you not find that? Do you
Oh,
find
dude,
in
I
Japanese
actually
that it's yeah,
completely
no.
don't care about learning any more English words. It's
Wow,
only for
that's interesting.
Japanese. I actually, a huge portion of my interest in Japanese is exclusive, and I don't share it in English, which is
Mhm.
why I feel like my life is so enriched from learning Japanese. Like Matt said in his on motivation video, like I don't
Mhm.
wake up every day happy I know Japanese, but like
Yeah.
I'm basically happy I know Japanese like every day.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
because yeah, you
Mhm.
just discover stuff. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I think
I'd agree with that.
I don't know. I think I'm happy I know Japanese every day, but I don't. I never think about it. Like Japanese is just a
Mm.
part of my life, so it's not like I'm thinking like, oh, I'm happy I learned Japanese. But if I reflect on my life as a whole, I benefited a lot from learning Japanese, and it benefits me every day that I did learn it.
Mm. Yeah,
But I
especially if you're
never
in
I
a
never
country.
really think about the
Oh,
fact that they're like, oh, I'm so happy I learned Japanese, except like when it comes to like specific things like dating or work. Like if hadn't learned Japanese, I would have way more issues with that kind of stuff.
No, I think it like consciously almost every day, just because anytime I consume media that I like, I'm
yeah.
like, thanks
Mhm.
Japan. And like for me, learning Japanese made it way more fun to watch
Mhm.
anime and like light novels and stuff.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
So
think
I'm like very conscious of that.
I
Yeah,
think
gratitude is
also
important though.
you
Mm,
have a much
definitely.
stronger connection to media as well. Whereas to me,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
like anime is just like it's just like a thing that's like interesting and I watch it sometimes. It's not like a huge part of my life anymore.
Yeah, I'm with Nico on that one. It's kind of like the media is less importance now. It's just kind of take it
Hmm.
in.
But like
I stand with the otaku.
I totally
I
understand
stand with
loving
otaku.
anime. But like yeah, I just
Kanji Ito would be proud of me.
it's not that I like dislike anime or I'm anti-otaku. I just don't I just literally can't feel that way anymore like the way I used to feel. I used to feel really
Yeah,
emotionally connected to anime and like otaku media in general.
fair enough. Yeah, I think that comes to the point. I totally
Mhm.
resonate what you're saying. It's kind of like it used to be all your life, and that was who you were, your whole identity, and now it's just kind
Mhm.
of like, yeah, it's cool, but that's not me anymore so much. I'm on for different
Yeah.
things. Yeah, I totally relate to that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think of myself much more as like the Japanese guy rather than the anime guy.
Mm, transcended anime to culture.
Transcended anime. But I
It
think
is
it was
kind of
always like that
interesting.
for me. Mhm.
So like this season is like the worst anime season like I've ever seen. Like I'm basically not like watching any anime this season.
Mm-hmm.
But I still like read light novels a lot, and I don't know. It just feels like an extension of it.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Like
it's
for me,
all
it's
otaku
less
media.
just anime, and it's like otaku media.
Yeah, that's fair. We've got a question here. What is your favorite part of Japan? I, I effing love Kansai. Um, well, I don't know. It's hard to say, but like I actually like Tokyo quite a bit, just because a lot of my AJATT friends are there, and there's a big nightlife. It's really easy to meet people and go drink with people. But yeah, I really like Kansai as well, because most of my Japanese friends live in Kansai, and in general, I get along much better with people from Kansai. Like, if I meet someone at my university who's exchanging from Kansai versus Tokyo, for example, especially if they're a guy, I'm way more likely to get along with the Kansai dude than Tokyo dude. And just people outside of Tokyo in general, like Hiroshima, Kansai, Fukuoka, and like even here in Miyazaki, they're just way more likable, like easier to get along with than people from Tokyo. What do you think, Wyatt?
I mean, I don't like have that much experience. I've only been to Japan for a month, but I
Mm-hmm.
just like Tokyo because like most of the people I know are there. The opportunities that I'm interested in are there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like big and interesting.
Yeah.
Like I would definitely want to live there if I
Mm-hmm.
lived or when I moved to Japan.
Zaft
I think
left
the
a
Japanese
very
countryside is
insightful
a lot more
comment.
livable.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I noticed that one.
yeah. I'm not gonna read that one, but he did leave a very insightful comment. Thanks, Zaft. Um, then
We appreciate it, honey.
hardcore Japanese left. I don't know if this is the name of something. Kimi o natsu no hi ni tatoe ka. But I don't know if that's the name of like an anime or a book or something. It kind of sounds like it is.
I
But
don't know.
and then Jared says some great advice. Stream so far. Thanks y'all. Thank you. People online tend to get triggered online seeing Muslims in Japan. Why is that? I think that's a very
I don't think
specific
we can answer that.
demographic. Yeah, I think that's a
Yeah.
very specific demographic of people, and most people don't care.
I mean, they display the bad ones, but like I have a few. Didn't Swaggy mention he like met a few Muslims in Japan? They were great. Like it's just like the minorities, like not the
Yeah.
minorities, the minority of people are causing
The
problems, and then the
minority.
media, displays it badly.
Yeah, well, I mean, wherever
Yep.
you go, they're always gonna do that. Like, take one group and make them all look one person from a group and make them all look bad. I need to get to that point. It's actually such a pain. This season is so bad. It really is so bad. Like, I always keep up with the seasons, and I watch. If there's a anime that seems interesting, I'll watch it. And there is like no interesting anime this season.
Next season though
Next season, what's
will be
what's
good.
coming up next season?
Kaiju, Hachigo, and Dandadan. Second
Oh,
season will come
I
out.
like both of those animes, so I'm interested. I've been watching Legend of the Galactic Heroes recently, by the way. I'm almost done. I'm literally just
Wait,
a few
oh
episodes
really?
away. Yeah, and
It's
it's
like
really good.
150, right?
110, but it's really good.
110.
I enjoyed it a lot. I would recommend it. Um,
I watched the first episode and I was not interested.
you have to have a lot of patience, but
oh,
I promise it gets good. The best moment is like in episode 80 or 90 something. I can't remember which one it
really?
was. Yeah.
Yeah, the best episode of One Piece is 1,120.
Just keep watching. I promise it'll get better. Um, then
Just immerse, bro.
exactly. We have AA.
oh,
Nice to see you in the chat.
he is saying that Muslims or people who wear stuff on their head stand out
Mm-hmm.
more, which could be a contributing factor.
Mm-hmm. I mean, anyone who stands out is likely to get some hate. Just for that. I mean, yeah.
That's anywhere in the world, yeah.
Yeah, anywhere in the world. Apathy, immersion. Yo7, keep it up, buddy. Thanks. Yeah, this season is ass, but next season seems great. Cool down. Wait, he's goaded. Who? Who's goated?
There's no way to know.
Yo, George's audio just stopped. Do you think his phone ran out of power?
Yeah, I think
Oh
so.
no,
I'm
he's
still
back.
here. I'm still
He's back.
here. I'm back. I think it's the background noise must have dropped out. That's what it was.
I see.
Uh-huh.
What's your battery at?
We're at 18%, so I think the video was just draining it usually.
Oh.
I started on like 60%, so I think it's the video.
The video, okay.
So,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, mental. Yeah, so I next
Mental,
time
yeah.
I'm a bit more prepared.
Oh, it's Cloudy.
I mean,
Yo, Cloudy.
wait, Cloudy in the chat? Oh my god.
Yeah,
Legend.
just tune in. Hope you guys are well. Cloudy, you should join the server I invited you to for immersion.
Wait, really?
I invited into a server for immersion content creators that me and Trenton
Oh.
made.
Oh, it's just Cloudy, like Cloudy, how the Korean guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's not.
I guess I'll invite George too. Me and Trenton made a server
Sure.
for immersion content creators.
Damn. I guess I'm part of the club now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
That's-
goaded for watching it.
That's true, but only 1% of people show hate for the unfamiliar. Most people don't care. Yeah, that's true. Most people don't care in general. Like, have you seen like those statistics about how like a certain percent of people, they just follow what other people are doing. A certain percent of people make their own decisions and things like that. It's like there's studies
yeah.
about psychology on that. But basically, most people just follow what other people are doing. And then there's like a small demographic of people who will like hate on some specific thing or like get mad over something. And most people don't care, but if other people are doing it, they'll just follow along. And there's like studies that show that
Sheeple.
the sheeple. But basically, most people probably could care less about Muslims or foreigners or blah 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 blah. But there's like a small demographic of people that really hate them. That's like, they like stir up the pot, and then other people just go along with it.
Yeah, the whole group thing, right?
Oh, I'm goated for watching Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's great. I really like it. There's like 2 movies as well I'm gonna watch after I finish watching the show.
Are they also old?
Yeah, it's all old. Well, there's new movies too.
Oh.
They remade it with like new stuff. But
With the whole thing or just the movies?
no, they're remaking the whole series as a series of movies, like right now. There's actually
Oh, what the hell?
the series is fairly popular. It has a following in Japan. Because
I mean, it has like a 9 something on my anime list.
yeah,
Cult following.
but the movies are pretty popular. Hi George, I just started immersing in Korean again. And
Okay. Good job.
Cloudy is behind on his Discord messages. Okay. Understandable.
That's Cloudy saying he's back into immersion.
Dude, I'm always so proud of people when they say that they're like behind on Discord.
Hmm. It means they're... Congratulations.
Yeah.
I think, Horsening Tan said that too. He's like, not using Discord enough. And I was like, don't.
Yeah.
And I have another question on the Google Doc here. Where should... This
Okay.
is from Arik/Kai. I've actually met him in person once in Japan. And I think you were there, right? When we met him, Wyatt?
I was there.
No, not...
George was there.
No, George wasn't there. It's not that Kai.
A different guy.
Not the
Okay,
not the
no,
bodybuilder. Remember that really
Yeah.
big tall guy, Wyatt, that we met? I think he had like long hair.
Dude, give me more details. Was this the time?
He
I
was at
wasn't
the
there?
immersion. He was at the immersion off guy.
Oh yeah. I remember.
That's this guy. But
Okay,
he,
yeah.
he said where should be the cutoff between do what you want to do versus do this because it's effective for language learning in like guides and methods. An example would be AJATT, where the line is towards what you want, and then Refold, where the line is more towards what gets more results. Which is better, or is it dependent on the person? I think this is a really interesting question. Let me hear what you guys think first.
Okay, well, I'll just jump in because this is kind of a big life philosophy thing. But personally, I think it's AJATT because so you can get the results. You could wake up tomorrow and you could be fluent in Japanese, Korean, whatever, right? And let's say if someone sort of granted you that gift, would you take it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Probably not. I'm assuming. Like, you wouldn't take a taxi to get to the end of a marathon. You'd run the marathon, right? Like, lots of us, I would assume. Okay, so if anything, it's all about the process. And I think this is just life in general. It's my philosophy, but I think the process is actually more important than the result. So if you don't enjoy it, you'll grind, you'll suffer for years and years to get good at the language, to get the results, but you would have just suffered for a long time just to get it. And I think as you guys who both learn languages, you know that it's actually not really, also it's not worth it. It's kind of like, it's not going to make you that much happier. Like if I was fluent in Korean, say, a few years later from now, because I did it in a fun way, versus I just got there the way I did, I'd probably choose the later one, because it doesn't really matter when I get one, as long as I'm sort of on the process, on the way. That said, though, there is like a sort of right way to do it. Like, you want to be a master, obviously, but I don't think efficiency really matters that much beyond, are you doing immersion? Are you doing like actually making progress, rather than like sort of faking making progress by doing Duolingo, right? So yeah, I think process is huge. I think this is sort of expanding to sort of philosophy on life. I think that you should do what you love. I don't think that you should just grind to be a CEO, to be whatever the society is telling you success is. I think you should just be you, be yourself, create, spread love, all of that stuff. I've sort of lost belief in, having to become someone, having to become some fixed identity. Why can't we just be, That's sort of where I'm at with that. So yeah, that's me.
So I think the argument is less.
Zen Buddhism too. Go on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you seem to like that Confucianism, Buddhism stuff.
We'll talk about that later.
That's awesome.
Right now. Yeah.
But I think the argument is less like if you can learn it and have fun or not. It's, can you learn it at all? Like, people aren't worrying about having fun. They're like, I literally can't do it if it's not fun. So I do think people are like too hard on themselves when they know there's a more efficient way of doing things.
Yeah.
Like, basically, the strategy is you try to do the most efficient thing, which is like AJATT and a bunch of Anki, and then you take steps backward wherever you're comfortable, and like you can still accomplish it.
Exactly.
But I think people stress themselves out when they're not being optimal, and then they'll quit. Like for me, I was one of those people where immersion was painful, and I did more Anki instead of the other way around, and like. I did very little listening, and I did mostly reading, and then I was really focused on Anki. But I don't know, I still got perfectly fine level. There no problems.
You still speak
I wasn't stressed out.
Anyway.
I could have been really stressed out about not listening. I only watched 1 or 2 anime a season, and then the rest was all reading. And I mean, I was a little stressed out. I'm not listening. My listening's gonna get behind, and I'm gonna feel really bad. But I just got better, and then my listening got better as I read more, because it's all the same language. And I don't know. I think it's possible people would push themselves to listen more, and then they would hate it, and then they would quit because it kind of sucks. I think people shouldn't worry about optimizing it as much, and you can just focus on one aspect for a while, and then you'll get better, and everything else will get easier.
Yeah. I think I think that it's undeniable that different approaches have different results. And you can't say that all approaches have the same result. And you need to think about your goals and what result you want to obtain. And then choose your approach based on that. But if your goal is to get... And also what you can personally handle. So if your goal is to get native level and have a great accent, but you can't stand listening, then you need to reevaluate your goals and you need to choose something that you can actually do. So I think that it's important to think about your goals, think about what you can actually handle, and think about the most efficient method to achieve the goal, and then try to achieve a balance between what's fun, what you can even do at all, and your goal. And try and strike a balance so that you can achieve all of those things. But you can't, you have to acknowledge that definitely different methods have different results, but everyone needs to choose a method that they can actually go through with. If you can't even do it, then there's no point at all.
Yeah, I think Matt really likes the idea of native level, and he talks about it a lot,
Yeah.
and it makes people really scared to
Mm-hmm.
do reading heavy approaches, even though you can still get super high level of fluency and a really good accent. Just because
Mm-hmm.
Matt only really cares about native level, but most people
Yeah.
don't. But they hear what Matt says and they're like, "Oh, it'll ruin me forever if I early output
Yeah.
or like read." But
Well,
I think it doesn't
mhm.
actually matter that much for basically
Mhm.
everyone, and they don't realize that Matt's only talking about getting native level.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, that's the biggest thing is I think people don't understand that others have different goals and objectives, and like, if there's no one size fit all method, other than, well, obviously you have to immerse. You can't say, oh, it doesn't work for me. I like doing textbooks. It doesn't really work that way. You have to immerse. You have to do Anki, or you don't have to do Anki,
Yeah.
but you have to have some level of efficiency in your approach. But
Yeah.
um, I think um, I think that like when I was a beginner, if you don't know if you don't already speak Japanese or understand Japanese, it's hard to really know like what level different people are at. Like if Matt says like, "Oh, you'll have an accent if you do it this way." It's hard to really understand the scale. Like have an accent, like what he means is you'll have an accent, but you'll still be really good and way better than every other learner. Um, but you won't be native level. But if a beginner hears that, they'll be like, "Oh, I'll sound like shit and have like this terrible accent." Like, I think it's easy to misunderstand that if you're not already familiar with what level people are reaching in the language. Like, obviously, when I was starting out, I thought that I could reach native level, and I thought that native like immersion learners were around native level, but then later on, I realized that native level is actually extremely difficult to achieve, and almost no one has
Yeah.
ever done it.
Yeah, and I've listened to very very little unscripted like listening. It's basically all like audiobook scripted stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and like my listening is like it could be better. Like Nico, his listening is like better sometimes in like a loud environment. We're
Mm-hmm.
talking to someone and he hears what they say and I didn't catch it, but like you basically couldn't focus on reading more than me, and I have zero problems listening.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe I'll miss an extra line or two watching a drama, but like it's really not a problem at all.
Yeah.
It's just like at the high levels, it's a very slight difference that usually
Mm-hmm.
people don't really care about.
I mean, I think the main difference is not in understanding. I think that like if you learn through reading and then you do listening later, you'll still get to like a perfectly, completely like real time comprehension, not native level, but like near native understanding of listening. That's not really an issue at all. And maybe the way you perceive the language will be a little different. Like it might feel more natural, more or less natural. But I think Wyatt has this experience of becoming a listening main later on. Is that correct? Like now listening feels more natural to you, right?
Oh, yeah, I don't like
Yeah.
read.
So
Um,
like,
I mean,
mm,
yeah, so yeah, my reading speed has decreased a lot, and I like audiobooks more. Like I can probably listen faster than I can read now.
mm-hmm. But I do think that the way you first acquire the language will have impacts on your output and what the way that things come to mind. Like if you learn through natural speech and listening content, like primarily, I think you're more likely to have a way of speaking that sounds more fluid and natural and native like, whereas you might sound a little more autistic if you learn through the other methods. But like either way, you can still sound really good and native, and like even like I think Wyatt has a lot of issues like that where he'll say something autistic, but like usually he knows it's autistic, and I think that
Oh
it
yeah, no, it's completely a
yeah.
personal thing. Like
Yeah.
like it's more like I'm the type of person
Mm-hmm.
where like I have this like big passive
Mm-hmm.
vocab, and it just comes to mind, and I'm the type of person where it's
Mm-hmm.
like I gotta say it. That's too
Yeah.
interesting.
But
But
I do think
the
in
type of
terms of
person,
oh,
yeah,
go ahead.
like if I actually really tried to, it wouldn't be a problem. It would be
Mm-hmm.
like annoying internally, but I don't think
Yeah.
it would have much
Well,
effect on how I
I think it
sound.
would
It's
be
just like
slightly more
personally
work.
annoying.
It would be like more
Yeah,
work,
yeah.
but at the end of the day, whether you did it one way or now, I recommend people to learn through listening because that's what I did and that's what worked for me. But I think that it depends on your goals and your personality, which method you want to do. But at the end of the day, no matter which method you take, you'll still be pretty fluent in the language at the end, and the effects will mostly be small differences in the quality of your output. But either way, your output will still be perfectly understandable and much better than any other learner and very natural. So I don't think it's that relevant, to be honest. It doesn't matter that much. But it is worth considering. Eventually, I'm going to make a full video about this topic, about every single goal and approach and all this kind of stuff, so that I can recommend it to people.
And make sure you include the monk route. Learn Japanese to be a monk.
Yeah, I'm going to include that route. We got the Nampa immersion approach, the monk route, and native level, all the important approaches that people are wanting to.
AJATT visual novel.
Yeah. Learn every Konken level 1.
Konken 1, yeah.
We've got a lot of comments here. Let me see. I think this was about Korean. I'm not sure which this was, but they said, "What's his idea for getting over the beginner hurdle?" I don't know if that was.
Skip AA's question.
I don't know if. What did AA ask? Oh yeah, sorry. This is for George. Korean question. What type of content is very good for upper intermediate level learners?
Upper intermediate. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're saying like a vocabulary around like 1,000 or so, 2,000, something like that.
Wait.
Well, yeah, go on. Yeah. Wait. Why?
Oh, sorry. I watched an interview with Nuke Marine like a few days ago.
Yeah.
And then they said upper intermediate
Nuke Marine.
being like 1,000 or 2,000 words, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
In my opinion, upper intermediate is very different, and AA is like amazing at English. So I assume her idea of upper intermediate is like 10K words.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, it depends how you define upper intermediate, doesn't it?
Maybe just a few thousand.
Yeah, okay, a few thousand. Well, I'd say webtoons are good for like when you're sort of sub 5K, but beyond that, you don't really get much value out of it. At least I don't find personally. Like you'll get the odd like random word, like you say, that these rare words that you don't really need.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's worth it. I think dramas are solid. You know, you can get, because dramas have different domains. You can get law dramas, medicine dramas. But those are always solid. Reading is quite difficult because you're still at that such low level of vocabulary where you're only getting like 60% of the page, 70% of the page, which is still not quite enough to really warrant reading. I mean,
I'm gonna head to the bathroom real quick.
There's going to be a big gap. Yeah, sure. There's going to be a big gap in your understanding. So in terms of like actual Korean content to recommend, I would say probably dramas are your best bet, and any K-drama is fine. Do it based on sort of ones if you're optimizing for results, do it for domains you're used to, like daily life, and then try like law, and then try medicine, whatever. But if you don't really care too much about those, just have fun, you know. That's all I can really say. Just have fun, man. There's no real optimal way, because one person might learn through dramas, one person might learn through listening, but at the end of the day, you're going to learn to speak Korean if you just keep on asking. See what works for you. Yeah, that's what I say.
Alright, nice.
And
Moose asks you how to get over the beginner hurdle, I assume for Korean.
Yeah. Well, I think webtoons. That's what worked for me. I just literally grind webtoons for like 6 months. Just read those suckers. Quite easy, very visual, not much text. Or it's only text, so it's not... when I say only text, I mean there's no audio, so it's quite easy. You can spell things out. Hangul itself is quite easy to read. You can break it down. There's no kanji and stuff thrown at you, so you can always read it. Webtoons. Look words up in the dictionary. You don't need to do the monolingual transition until maybe a year in or something like that.
Dude, I was so late with that.
Yeah, really? When did you start?
Dude, I literally did it as slow as possible. I only added monolingual definitions that I understood, like, the first time. And then maybe, like, 3 or 4 years, I switched to 100% because I understood all of them.
Wow.
But I did no recursive stuff. That was so annoying.
That's crazy. No recursive?
Nah, dude, that's so annoying, bro.
Wow. That's great. I mean, again, like with small details, like when should you do the transition? I don't think it really matters. And, like,
Oh yeah, it
unless you're
doesn't
really
matter
up
at all, bro.
native, you know? Yeah. Like for real. How's the Chinese coming on? Because you're saying you're like Chinese, and you're doing that full
I
time.
mean, like, I do like an hour or two a day. I'm like very
Okay.
Anki heavy because the Chinese listening is like, it's actually like insanely difficult.
Yeah, I can
Like,
imagine.
I don't know, I still mishear things. Like this word like "jayang" like it means in this way, and I mishear that as like "jong" like all the time, and it's like one of the most common words in the language. It's really frustrating. The listening is incredibly difficult, but
Yeah.
like I don't read anything without audio. It's all audio. All my Anki cards are pure audio, just audio
Oh,
on the
wow.
front. So I'm really
Makes sense on
trying.
the back.
It's really rough, but
Wow.
it's mostly just me. I watch a few episodes, get 30 new words, like add to Anki, and then I review
Okay.
them, which takes like 45 minutes. And I go outside because they're all audio cards. I don't even have to look at my phone.
Oh,
But
so
I think
you
it's coming
reckon,
along.
like, with your headphones.
Oh yeah.
Wow. That's
My
crazy.
phone's in my
So
pocket most of the time. I don't even look.
So your phone's in your pocket, and then how do you rep? Are you just like you just tap your phone?
Oh, so I have this
How are you repping?
Bluetooth controller.
He made a
that I
video on
use.
it actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
wait,
I
you've got
actually have a bunch
Bro,
of.
check that out.
I optimize all my Anki settings for like not having to look at your phone. Like it's like grass maxing, and I want to make an ultimate like audio card tutorial at some point. But I'm working on an
That'd be
add-on
really
to
interesting.
like, yeah, I'm working on an add-on right now, like to make creation of audio cards way easier, because there's like not very many good tools right now. And then when I finish that, I'll try to make like the ultimate tutorial.
That would be
But,
awesome. Are you like writing that in Python or something? You're
Yeah,
trying to make
yeah.
that? Oh. That's
But,
really awesome. I really think you should do that. Make sure it
yeah.
supports Korean too, man.
I mean, it should. It's not language specific at all.
It's just audio, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and but yeah, I mean, it's coming along well. It's kind of weird because my standards for language learning are like completely like different. Like in Japanese, I would like go back to stuff that I'd read and be like, oh wow, it's so much easier. But for me, learning a new language, it's like anything worse than my Japanese level is like bad. I need to get better. So I don't even think about like my progress. It's just, oh, I need to get better. But I think I mean, it's been good. Like 30 new words a day is a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's quite a lot.
I definitely feel it's increasing.
And it's
Comprehension
like
is like,
an L3. It's quite difficult. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
yeah, like I can like an easier like anime. I only watch translated content, by the way. But yeah, no problem understanding like subtitles, like reading like an easier show. I'd probably get like 80-90%. But for listening, it is like so much lower.
So that's why you're doing the whole grass maxing audio setup thing.
Grass maxing.
Yeah. I've literally only listened to audio stuff. All my cards are pure audio on the front, but it's still super far behind the reading. Because like learning how to read Chinese is like basically trivial if you know Japanese and kanji.
It's trivial.
It's yeah.
It's trivial.
It's not. You have kanji fluency. It's not a problem. No, not. You guys are so mean.
No, sorry. I love you. It's okay. So let me see. What? How far did you get? Because there's a bunch of stuff in the chat. How far did you go while I was gone?
How? What?
Oh, we got to like.
We're just talking about Chinese.
Beginner hurdle.
Yeah, we're talking about Chinese.
In the chat, yeah, we answered AA's question.
Did you do the? What's his idea for getting over the beginner hurdle?
Oh yeah. That was the last one we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Cloudy said, "We're so behind. Upper intermediate means I imagine you should be pretty set finding whatever content you feel compelled by." Okay. But you guys already kind of talked about that, right? Someone said, "Where did George go?" Yeah. George turned off his camera because he is running out of battery on his phone. Man needs to get a mobile battery pack next time.
I do. I need to fix up. Yeah. It's because I'm traveling right now. I didn't expect to be traveling actually. So.
Where are you traveling to again?
Next time. So there's a place called Gangneung, or it's in the east coast of Korea. I've never been there. So I'm just sat in this cafe in front of this beach right now. But there's loads of people because it's a public holiday in Korea, or it was on Friday. So it's a 3-day weekend, and there's just like loads of people going on holiday.
Okay.
I'm staying in this guest house, and it's just like I'm like the only foreigner I've seen around here, and it's super
Oh, based.
Based?
like based because like super rural. It's based, bro. Because I okay, so I'll explain like this little backstory. I got here at like 9 p.m. 9:30 at night. I got here super late, and I was trying to find a dormitory, and I ended up going to like the girls' dormitory. Like obviously I didn't make it in because the password was wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and then like this girl just suddenly came up to me and was like, and I was like, yeah, and then I basically I had to like explain to her that I'm doing all this shit. And she kept trying to speak to me in English. And then
It happens,
after
yeah.
like 3 sentences in, she was like, "Oh, okay, this guy gets it." And then it was smooth. And then I ended up staying up really late talking to this grandpa. Like he was drinking a beer, and he was just like sitting to me. Like, he was sitting on his bench, just talking about life. It was just really
That's
strange.
amazing.
And, yeah, it's super
Based?
because it's like I'm just using Korean the whole time. There's no other foreigners. I get a lot more looks here. I've noticed now sitting in a cafe, like people stare at me a lot more, which is in Seoul, people don't give a shit. So that's new. And yeah, I'm just kind of here to. The plan was to socialize. The plan was to sort of like small talk max and just you know engage people.
Do you
But I
think
didn't get a lot
people
of sleep last night. I was kind of low energy. But yeah, go.
do you think people are more friendly there than in Seoul?
100%. The countryside is from what I haven't seen right now. People just by their body language alone, they seem a lot more, like willing to talk. I reckon. Well, I've already like said hello to a few people, but they're way more receptive, it seems, than people in Seoul. So maybe it is just a Seoul thing. The whole small talk issue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think that because Tokyo is the same way.
Yeah. It's because I spent all my time in Seoul pretty much. Like, I never really leave it. So that's probably why I'm so stuck in that bubble.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This is
Also,
the-
fun fact.
what is it?
They have pitch accent in Korean too, for like
Oh, wait,
the
really?
South, the Southern dialect. Yeah. So there's dialects in Korean where basically like the grammar changes at the end, like the way they end their sentences changes, and that's about it. I mean, there's a few different words, but that's pretty much it. But in Gyeongsang-do, which is the southern state in South Korea, where Busan is, they use pitch accent in their words, right? But that pitch accent is not documented officially on any sort of official documents, as far as I know. There's no dictionary, so you kind of have to know. And this one white guy I know called Ian, I mentioned earlier, he learned Gyeongsang-do Saturday, which is like Gyeongsang-do dialect, via just like raw immersion, and apparently he didn't use Anki. And I listened to him speak, and bro knows like the pitch accent. So, for instance, there's one word, uri in Korean means we, or it can also mean like pigsty, and depending on how you say it in their dialect, of a pitch accent, it will change the definition. But in normal standard Seoul dialect, it's just the same. Yeah, I know. It's
I
so
use
weird,
those two words right next to each other all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, but what's strange is that Seoul people, they take piss out of like people from the country, saying like, "Oh, but why do you use pitch accent? Why do you pronounce things like weirdly?" And they have, I don't know if they have this phenomenon in Japan, but in Korea, everyone who goes to Seoul is around Seoul. They switch their dialect to the standard language. Yeah, they hide it. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
There's like the anime character where like when they get excited they start speaking Kansai Ben, like their native dialect.
Yeah. Same thing in Japan.
Right. Yeah, it's weird, but that's how it is. But yeah. Overall, Gangneung seems pretty based. Pretty cool.
Let's move on to some more comments. I feel bad when we don't answer the questions in the chat because I always get annoyed when people don't answer. Yeah, it's more important. They don't answer my questions. I get annoyed, so I want to make sure we get to them. But Cloudy Howdy, they're talking about Korean YouTube. It's not really a question. We don't have to worry about this. Someone has a question for George. Has there been any hurdles in making friends in Korea as a foreigner? Did they willingly converse in Korean or forcibly use English? We kind of just touched on this, but
you kind of cut out, Nico.
Yeah, you cut out.
I said.
Read the question again.
Question for George: has there been any hurdles in making friends in Korea as a foreigner? Did they willingly converse? Did they willing?
Bro's cutting out again.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Your sensitivity. Your sensitivity. But it's just making friends in Korea. How has it been?
Yeah, how's it making friends in Korea? Are there any hurdles? And did they willingly converse in Korean or forcibly use English?
Right, yeah, great question. It's been very difficult, and I think what we've been talking about here is it might be a Seoul problem, I don't know. But like I said earlier, it's really hard to small talk people and open interactions. And usually the Korean response is just like freeze up and just be like, pretend they don't know you. Even on university campus, what I noticed is people you met in classes or you know before, you've spoken to before, they don't look at you. They actively avoid eye contact and like just look all around. I had one motherfucker sit in front of me in the library, right? And bro looked like up the ceiling to the windows, like just did everything he could to avoid eye contact with me. And like I literally
crazy.
met him in like this last class. Yeah, that is super cold energy in Korea. I don't know why that's the case, but yeah, it's really sort of cold and sort of image focused like that. In terms of making friends, like I said before, Korea is really highly conformist. It's like a huge groupthink sort of culture. If you don't wear the right clothes or you don't fit the image of a normal person, you get outcasted. It's very, very tribal. You'll notice that this Kakao Talk is like line basically for Korea. And they have like group chats, and if you're not part of the group chat, you're excluded. It's very, like I said, tribal. That's the best way I could describe it. Korea also, they follow a lot of trends, so you can sort of socially signal if you wear the right trends. But for me personally, I like my individualism. I don't really care what people think, so I just wear whatever I want. And the people who vibe with me, they vibe with me. If they don't, they don't. And I've stopped trying to belong to Korea. I've stopped trying to become Korean in that sort of sense because I know I never will truly belong. And you just kind of have to accept that if you are going to live here. You just kind of have to accept, yeah, you're always going to be on the outside of society, but learn to enjoy it. Learn to not need to have loads of friends, but have one or two people who are deep, who are real, versus a lot of superficiality and a lot of light stuff. And I think this is just a symptom of the modern world. But in Korea, particularly, it's very highly image focused, competitive, and it encourages conformity and not sticking out, which is great for a sense of like community and feeling like you're together. But if you're not the sort of person to do that, which if you're learning Korean as a Westerner, you're definitely not the sort of type person to conform to cultural norms. I think living here will be actually very, very hard for you. I'm not gonna try and sell the image that Korea is like a great fantasy, nor that it's a hellhole either. But I will say, living here will open you up to like sort of human cultural norms or just sort of ways of life that you wouldn't really imagine. Like as a Westerner, you'd find it quite hard to imagine people not like smiling back at you or saying like good morning, or like maybe but not on this level. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'd say life here is quite intense. If you want to make friends, if you're the sort of person who fits in and doesn't really care too much about your individualism, then you'll probably be okay. But you will never truly belong to Korean society. So I would say on making friends, try and make friends with people who are on the outskirts. Try and make friends with people who are real, people who are into Western culture, people who are into maybe hip hop, or who are not mainstream. And I think that'll be your best bet. But to actually tap into the normal sort of culture, or not like to become Korean, I think that's just a false dream, and I wouldn't recommend it. So if that came off a bit like sour, but that's kind of true.
Well, would you say it's harder or easier as a foreigner compared to a Korean person?
I say it's a lot harder because this is going to sound strange, but Korean people generally do judge you on how you look, like more so than any other culture. I think it's like if you don't look a certain way, they're gonna feel uncomfortable. They're not gonna know how to interact with you because all of their life they've been conditioned to only interact with people who are sort of similar. And there are a few obviously Koreans who get outcasted, but it's like the ultimate societal shame. It's like really they're seen as like lower caste citizens almost. It's very intense and heavy. So I mean that sounds all very quite depressing and dark. I still really enjoy my life because I'm sort of a person who is okay with less connections, okay with not really fitting in. But if you're a little bit more social, a little bit more outgoing, then I would suggest you try and find your own community or build your own community or find a group of people who are artistic or sort of mindful and sort of subculture, like find your own subculture within Korea rather than trying to join the mainstream. Because I think, as you can see with the declining birth rates, the mainstream is pretty good. Like people are, not having deep relationships. They're all focused on superficiality, and it's having a big impact on just the birth rate and just general happiness of the country. Like the suicide rate's pretty high. Everyone's competing to get good grades. I could talk about for hours about the why it is. But as a foreigner, just bear that in mind. Bear in mind that you're not always going to belong. Bear in mind that you will be on the outside, and you just have to love it for what it is, rather than trying to make it something, rather than trying to expect it to be a certain way. Try and enjoy what is actually here, and you'll find you're okay, because you're free, really. You're free even though you're constrained, if that makes sense. Like, you might not belong here, but you mentally, if you use your attention wisely, and you pay attention to the good parts, and you find the few real people, I think it's a life worth living. It's a really great place to be. Just don't expect sort of social paradise, I guess. But that's just my experience. Who knows?
I've heard stories like that in Japan. I think it's way harder for introverts to make friends in a foreign country, but I also think
100%.
the opportunities are way higher. Like me personally,
Right.
and I'm pretty sure. I mean, Nico has been the reason for this, but I think it's way easier to make friends in a foreign country because it's
really?
like you can kind of have fun talking to anyone just because you're speaking in a foreign language. And there will be people like enclosed communities that will probably not want to let you in because you're not, like Japanese. But in general, people will be more interested in talking to you than the average person just because you're a foreigner and there aren't very many like fluent foreigners. And I think a lot of like the Japanese people learning English that are pretty outgoing will, you'll probably have a much easier time making friends with them. So depending on if you're an extrovert versus introvert, I think it could be more difficult than your home country, or like even easier. But I think I assume it's the same in Korea, but it might actually just be harder in general.
Yeah.
I mean,
I genuinely think this might be a Korean thing, but yeah, go on.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think that it does seem like Korea is harder to assimilate into as a foreigner than Japan. Well, I think Japanese people well, I don't know about Korea, but I think the Japanese people actually quite like foreigners quite a bit. It depends what kind of foreigner you are, but if you're not Chinese, basically, they quite like you. But if you're Chinese, you're kind of screwed. But they have but especially like Western foreigners, white people, have like pretty high koukando, like they consider kind of
Likability.
likability to Japanese people, and like there's a lot of TV programs where they have white people on and they interview white people and like they talk to Westerners and they kind of like they have like a lot of content about Westerners in Japan that is like pretty positive in general. So I
Right.
think that like in general Japanese people have like a fairly positive impression of foreigners that aren't Chinese basically. And they're more accepting
Yeah, I
and more
think
willing
Korea
to be
doesn't have
friends
that.
with you, I feel, especially if you speak the language to a high
Right.
level.
Right. It's like a cool thing. Yeah.
Like I
It's
went
like,
to
yeah. I
I
think it does have big foreign.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
go on.
You
I was
first.
going to say that I think that, like you say, Japanese media does have that cool gaijin thing. Like, oh, look at these cool foreigners. Whereas it seems to be in Korea, there's I've not really seen programs with like white people on, or there is
Really?
like one or two, but it's not like a big thing. And I think it's more like they'll accept you as long as you're doing things in the Korean way, like as long as you adapt to their sort of norms. Whereas it seems like in Japan they kind of accept your foreigners a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's not to say like you're just going to turn up to like some freaking like drinking with your boss and then start getting really like personal. Like, you're not going to be super full on Western mode, but what I'm saying is in Korea you kind of have to fit their way or no way. It's like the Korean way or the highway, which I think is the key difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems really rough, to be honest. I'm happy I learned
Yeah, it
Japanese
is to be
instead.
fair.
Yeah. Definitely. And
Yeah.
actually some of the most popular programs in Japan have to do with foreigners. And like they have a foreign guest that speaks regularly. Like there's this guy Park-gun, and he is like a white guy who speaks Japanese, and they have him regularly on like political there's this like television television station. And they have like some really popular news programs and stuff, and he's always on there. And there's just like a general presence of white people in the media, and they're usually shown in a positive light. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's.
I mean, I don't know. pretty rough, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I think you can still be happy if you just
for sure.
be mindful. You just look at life differently. You just have to look at life differently.
Um, let's see. Let's go through the chat comments because we missed a bunch. I found it's a paradox where you need to be red-pilled on immersion enough to implement it, but then not try and optimize it / stop to find the right way to do it. This is about our previous conversation. Because many immersion guides pose their own method as correct when they can be conflicting, like DJT reading main versus Ojimon listening mains. And yeah, I think that's a really big problem. I want to, as I said, make a video about that. Every influencer or method or guide, they always portray their method as correct, but they don't talk about that their method is only correct for people who have the same goals and personality as them. There's not enough nuance, in my opinion, in most immersion approaches.
Yep.
Yeah, no comment.
All right, and then random stuff about Korean, very interesting. Talking about. Okay, question. We have some questions for Furatar.
That's me.
I have a habit of giving up languages after 3 months because I have a hard time memorizing vocab in Anki. I would like to know about your Anki settings, etc. What kind of content did you watch in the beginning?
So, giving up on languages. I don't really get the like appeal of being a polyglot. I've only really been interested in Japanese, and Chinese is just like extra because I like languages, and it's like a very easy choice. But yeah, vocab is definitely like the most tedious part of learning a language. For my settings, I guess like you just gotta make easy cards. You just gotta keep your like retention like at least 80, or else it's super brutal. And then I wouldn't do less than like 10 a day because then it would just take so long. Um, if it's like yeah, Anki is definitely really finicky in the beginning because you can very easily like mess it up for yourself if you have really low retention. You'll just like it'll just become like hell. So like sentence cards to increase your retention, and just like adding easier cards, that kind of thing, and just being super lenient on yourself. But yeah, the vocab is just super tedious. It's like it's like probably the hardest part. If you could just know every word, it'd be really easy to gain everything else. But I don't really have advice for being consistent with Anki, because that's like the thing I'm best at out of everything. Like I haven't missed a day in like 5.5 years. And then content in the beginning. So I found in the beginning, you like enjoyability. Well, so first of all, like I'm learning Chinese, but I've only consumed anime dubs because I like anime. And the easier it is, the more you can enjoy it for its plot, and then the more you like the show. Like I watched Attack on Titan, which is super hard, but I enjoyed it because I love that show. So you have to like find a balance between comprehension and how much you just enjoy the media you're watching. And you should always prioritize your enjoyment, because then like your motivation, your retention, everything will be higher if you're enjoying it, even if your comprehension's kind of low. But for me, it's just anime. Like that's the only thing. That's like the best tool for me. That's how I learn Japanese. How I'm gonna learn Chinese.
Yeah. What kind of anime did you watch at the beginning? Did you choose based on what you liked, or did you just, when you were learning Japanese, I mean, did you choose based on what you liked, or how easy or hard it was, or if you'd already seen it, what was your criteria?
So I didn't rewatch that much. I'm rewatching way more with Chinese, but I was like really against rewatching. I don't know. I try to find a balance. Like One Piece is really easy, and I really liked One Piece, so I mind a lot from that. And then, I mean, I mostly prioritized enjoyment because I mind Attack on Titan as well. Like that's actually like how I got into like hardcore language learning. Is when I learned every word in Attack on Titan, and that phase is when I actually became really hardcore. But it's like really difficult. I don't actually know many anime harder than it. There's like a lot of words that I've still only ever seen once in Attack on Titan. But the enjoyment, like, is all that really matters, because there's still going to be useful stuff in anything.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's just rough. Like, it's just way more fun to be good at a language than to be starting out learning a new language. But you know that because you're god tier at English.
I think, I mean, I don't know. I actually found when I didn't know a lot of Japanese to be really fun, so I think it depends on the person. Like, when Matt's video about putting Japanese, my perspective was really similar to his. So I think it depends on the person. Like, for me, it was most fun when Japanese was mysterious and I didn't know anything. And now it's just like normal and annoying that I'm
Yeah.
not good enough.
I can relate so much. Yeah.
But I think there's still a lot
You're
of people
definitely
who
different.
are just, they have different, they just view it in a different way. Um, yeah. But then she
I, don't
she
know, I
also
enjoy
left.
Japanese the most right now.
Okay.
Oh, what was that?
Well, it's hard for me to say like because I never think about it as like enjoying Japanese anymore. It's like I've transcended like it's just like I'm speaking Japanese or I'm just doing stuff normally, and then like it happens to be in Japanese. But like the only time like the time when I thought like oh my god Japanese is so fun was when I was like in the intermediate stages and I was learning new stuff all the time, but there was still a lot to go. I found that to be the most fun. Whereas now it's just kind of like atarimae that I know Japanese. But I also don't have the same love for otaku content. So I think if you really love a certain kind of content, then consuming that in Japanese could really be great for you.
I mean, Anki just sucks and is brutal. I don't have to do it as much. Like, I still add every word, but it's still only like 5 a day max. So it's like just very, not stressful.
Yeah.
It's
How
like
many
actually
reps
enjoy
do you
it.
have a day?
For Japanese,
Mm-hmm.
for Japanese, I do 5 a day, and it's like 35, 40. It takes like 5
Okay.
minutes or less.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Is that including adding them as well?
What was that?
Is that including adding the cards?
Oh, no. Actually, I just add like a few hundred, usually, like
Right.
All at
in
once.
like 1 or 2 sittings with my friend.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I have I actually I still do 10 new cards every day. So I have a lot more reviews than that in Japanese. But
Oh, don't say still. You didn't always have that, did you? Did you stop doing 10 for like
yeah,
a long time?
I stopped doing that for a long time and then I started again like a couple months ago. So now I have quite a few reviews. But I still always get Anki done in like 30 minutes cuz Ankiing a language you already know is really easy.
30 minutes is still like, including adding?
Well, I just automatically create cards with Takobodo now because I'm lazy. But if I wanted to make the cards manually, it would take way longer.
30 minutes is a really long time. Do you
No,
suspend like words you already know?
it's less than 30 minutes. I'm just saying within 30 minutes, I always complete it. But it's
'cause
probably more
I would
like
expect it to be like
15
10.
minutes. Yeah, it's probably more like 10 to 15
Okay, yeah.
minutes. Okay. AA said, random, in Akihabara, I am a foreigner. Staff talk to me in English even after I speak fluent Japanese to them. That's a little bit weird. I wonder if you are like wearing Western clothes or you look like a Westerner in some way. Like maybe your fashion or style or hair or something looks Western and not Japanese. Then Joshi says all Korean women call me Simkun. Do you know what that means?
Wait, what?
Simkung. What does that mean?
Shinkun. Shinkun is like when your heart beats. It's like you like when you fall in
Ikemen.
love. It's like doki doki in Japanese.
Doki doki?
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
Yeah, Shinkun. Yeah.
I guess Korean women like him. He seems like he'd be popular with women.
He does.
This guy's a Chad. But this guy, another person says, question for George. Do people still say your
Yep.
Korean is really good? And then he wrote something in Korean, but I don't know what it is because it's in Hangul. So if you could look
It
at the
probably
chat.
means Jozu.
Can you copy and paste it into Discord because I can't
Sure,
do this
sure.
right now.
Dude, I almost guarantee you it just means like Jozu desu ne, bro.
Well, it's a pretty long.
Yeah, for
It
like
seems like a long sentence, but maybe.
Hangamai Charashine, that's the
Here we go.
Jozu, yeah.
Can you see it?
Okay. Tangshine Hangu.
Dude, that was fully
Okay.
comprehensible, even though I don't know Korean.
So the sentence we put looks like it's been translated. Tangshine Hangu Konnichiwa. That's very robotic. Normally they say Hangamai Charashida, Hangamai Charashine.
What does it
This
mean?
is
Though?
like some like Google Translate of your Korean is good,
Oh, I see.
pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah. So okay. What
Well,
was the question?
They're asking, do people still say your Korean is really good?
To be honest, not so much
As if-
anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, because I get it a lot, but it's kind of it's instead of like the first thing it'll be like the third sentence they say. So I'll be like, oh, and then they will say like, oh, right, wow, where are you from? Oh, which means like, oh yeah, your Korean's really good. And that'll be that. It used to happen a lot more. I think nowadays, because I act so just like, well, not confident, I'm not like some super chat, but like
Nonchalant?
I act like so nonchalant about it. Yes, exactly, nonchalant about it. That I don't think it really registers so much. It's not like I'm a foreigner trying. It's just like I'm just some dude trying to communicate, and I happen to be speaking Korean. And then
Yeah.
if they're appreciative enough, they will say. But most people do say yes.
Yeah. You usually get it like Nihongo Josu at least once
Yeah.
when you're meeting someone. Like at some point in the
Exactly, yeah,
conversation, they'll definitely say it at least once, unless it's like
Yeah, it's the same thing.
unless it's like a standard interaction, like you're in the store or something buying something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see.
Seems the same. Yeah.
How bad is Japan hate in Korea? AA asks.
Depends who you ask. The younger people, they're not too bothered, but I mean, they've had like anti-Japan like boycotts where they don't buy Uniqlo, or they don't buy Muji, or at least Japanese brands like don't buy Sony and stuff. Whereas that's happening less and less now. But yeah, if you ask the older generation they're quite spiteful about it because, well, for anyone who doesn't know, Korea was occupied by Japan from 1910 till 1940, and they like forced them to speak Japanese and all sorts of shit going on. Like there's the whole like apparently the Japanese soldiers they raped women in like sort of in Busan. There's like a whole thing about it. They've got like a statue. But anyway,
They won't apologize about the comfort women thing, even in the modern day.
Exactly. So that's obviously not great. When I ride on the train, sometimes there's an island called Dokdo. I think it's Dokdo in Japanese as well, like the island near Korea and Japan. And there's propaganda telling me that, oh, this is Korea's island. Yeah, Dokdo's Korean, like, whereas Japan is saying it's their island. Overall, the anti-Japanese sentiment, I guess, I don't feel it as much anymore. But yeah, if you ask anyone, it's there because like all the Korean like temples and landmarks, they've all been rebuilt in like the 1980s or so because they were burnt down during the colonization period. So yeah, it feels a bit weird because it's like they don't obviously they don't really have much reason to hate them anymore, but it's just still that underlying sentiment of like, yeah, that like we're or how do you say it? They still hold the resentment. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of sucks because a lot of the Korean doings were really nice, but they've been rebuilt. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go on.
No, I was just saying. I hope that answered your question, AA.
Yeah, I hope so.
This is a question for me and Wyatt. As fluent Japanese speakers, do you guys have any interest in taking the Kanken 2 or 1? I don't know why learners, DJT Lang School studs, try to mog each other, but I genuinely wonder if there's any merit.
Why'd you say studs like that?
Studs.
Wait, is it? There's no way.
It's studs. It says
What?
studs.
Language school studs? What is that?
Lang School studs try to mock. It's a slang word. It's like
it looks
Chad.
like Lang school students, bro.
Oh, maybe.
Are you sure? Because they wrote Lang school, like
maybe,
language school.
Oh, maybe it means students. I don't know. But there's a word stud. It means like Chad.
Oh yeah, I know the word.
No. But he's talking about
That
DJT and
was
he said Mog, so I figured that's what he meant. But
So
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of get it.
Hmm.
Like I used to feel the appeal of like doing Kanken. There was like a period of time where I thought I was gonna want to in the future, but it's like totally pointless. Like the only way I can convince myself that these useless words I'm learning are useful is because I find them in my content. I could never learn something for a test that I've never seen in content. That's like the one rule I've always had, is I'll never learn anything like from a dictionary or for a test.
Hmm.
Only ever from media that I consume. But like, I don't know, it's really cool. I don't know. Just
Hmm.
like there is a culture in DJT of like if you can pass Konkin, you're really cool. Because when you do the Kotoba quiz to enter the server, if you mess up anything at all, make any mistake, they'll all make fun of you. Like your rank in their like social system is based on how many words you know.
Hmm.
So it's basically like people like content, they like words, and it's like I'm gonna raise my rank in this social system
Hmm.
by studying for it. But it is totally pointless.
Yeah.
Like it's completely useless. Like
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
basically
like
completely agree. I think it's really cool to like pass Konken, but I would never do it myself unless I was incredibly like Hima. Like I just had so much free time. I had nothing to do with it. Maybe I would study for it, but there's no practical purpose. There's no reason to
there's
really
no
study that.
benefit.
Yeah, there's no merit.
Literally
Um,
do anything else. Not-
yeah. And
But
yeah,
Kanken
even
EQ,
Japanese people.
I don't like. It's not like you couldn't pass it. Like there's no
Hmm.
way you could pass it. Like I don't even think natives, like even educated natives, can they pass NIQ? I know they can't pass JNIQ,
They sometimes they can
but
if they're well educated, maybe they can pass Niku.
there's no way. There's 6,000. You have to know, and like hundreds of Yoji
Hmm.
Jukugo that like aren't even used. Like I probably know more kanji than a native speaker because I've learned every one I've ever seen,
Hmm.
and it's like 3,300, and that's literally half of what you have to know.
Oh,
Like a
I guess
Japanese
his
person
battery
probably doesn't
died.
see more than 3,500 in their life.
Hmm.
It's not even like reasonable.
Yeah, I totally agree. There's no point. Um, Michael says, "Wait, Furtard doesn't know Japanese." I don't know what that was in response to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I've
Um,
actually been lying this
I've
entire
been
time.
lying. You're being deceived. I guess George's battery
Yeah,
died. By the way. Um,
yeah.
and then
He's probably gonna go to the cafe, charge up.
the hostel.
How? Oh, sorry.
That was weird. Um, so, yeah, doing the Itsudemo Yo pose. Yeah, yeah, I was doing that. We should do it. Someone
いつ
screenshot
でもいい
this.
よ.
Itsudemo Yo.
If I,
Um,
oh, I mean, we'll get it later.
yeah, we can get it later.
But
Been listening while doing chores. Wish I could hang more. Gotta get some sleep. Yeah, this was a fun conversation. Um, I found Japanese to be easier when I stopped trying to understand or pretend like it's English. Not
I
sure
don't know
what you
about
mean.
that.
I
I find
guess
it's
like
easier when I try to understand.
maybe he means when he just doesn't think about it so much and it just
Oh,
becomes
easier to
natural.
study.
What do you mean?
Well, it's like easier to study when you're not stressing yourself out.
Yeah, yeah. Michael says Japanese people never call me Josu, but they talk to me in Japanese and they'll insult my ability. Lol. I mean, I
Oh,
don't think that's normal at all. Japanese people rarely insult your ability,
the
and
thing is, I actually
unless they're joking.
anytime I
Sometimes my girlfriend does that because we're like really close, but most people would never do that.
I've actually probably gotten one of the lowest ratios of like Nihongo Jozu because I've met a very large portion of people with Nico, and then they always say he's good, and then when I speak after him, they're like, oh, like, doesn't matter. It's like I'm not nearly as good, so they just
Hmm.
don't care. And then my the Japanese person I've talked to the most, he's like really good at English, and he's really like based, and he knows like how to learn a language. So knows my ability. He's not going to compliment me
Mm-hmm.
when it's not that impressive. So I've gotten it very little, actually. But
Yeah.
any like random stranger, they'll always say it
Yeah. You don't talk
when
to
Nico's
enough
not there,
people you don't know.
stealing my thunder.
But usually, I've noticed that Japanese people will usually compliment the person in the group who's the best at Japanese, and and then they'll compliment the other people like secondly. But it's usually based on accent. Whoever has the best accent. So if I'm with someone who has a better accent, they usually get complimented first, and then later they realize, oh, this other guy also speaks Japanese, and then they like compliment them as well. Um,
But
apathy.
yeah, I live in North Carolina, and there's like no Japanese people.
Yeah, it's kind of over.
And I also, yeah, it's kind of over.
Um, Apathy Immersion says, do you guys got any recs on games that have a lot of Japanese speakers, or even just a big community other than Final Fantasy, Apex, Valorant? No, I don't know any games with PUBG. PUBG has a big Japanese community.
Yeah, I'm not a gamer, but I'm in VR chat. I don't think that's what you're
Mhm.
looking for though.
Yeah, VR chat.
Games I can play where I can talk to native.
Um,
Which one's
I
English,
mean,
so you don't care.
yeah, VR chat is like those games in VR chat, and then PUBG are like, and then there's mobile games like Koya Kodo is like a pretty famous mobile game. That's an option.
Your mom said something.
Yeah, she wants me to study, but I'm just going to ignore that because I can just do that later. Um,
Wait,
and then,
study for what?
I don't know. I don't have anything
Can
to
you
study
say?
for anyway. I don't, just my school, probably. I don't know. She probably just doesn't like the fact that I'm spending hours doing something other than studying, but she should just deal with that. Um, um, Arik says, pretend it's English so you don't care when you don't understand, because in English I never use dictionary, but I'm very literate. Very illiterate? Literate. Okay. Yeah, pretend it's English. Well, you can do that, but I like to know everything. So I just can't do that. I want to look everything up.
Yeah, I actually never free flow. I've always learned every word and tried to understand everything.
Well, I do free flow.
I just did that until I,
Mhm.
got there.
I used to free flow a lot, but now I don't really do that. I just, um, I used to free flow all the time, but then like a couple months ago, I just kind of I realized that there's a lot of Japanese I still don't know. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to learn every word now. And then I started doing Anki a lot and more,
Based.
and trying to learn every word. So I've actually learned a lot, and I realized that there's a lot of stuff I still don't know in Japanese. There's a lot of room to grow, and that I should try to learn more if I can, especially since I came here. There's a lot, and like since I'm living with my girlfriend, there's so many things that have to do with daily life that I don't know how to say because it doesn't come up in media. And also a lot of food related stuff. I just have no idea what it means.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there's actually infinite foods. I've added every food
Yeah.
I've ever seen. And there's still, dude, I was reading this book, and there
Mm-hmm.
was a sentence just full of like autistic foods.
Yeah.
And there was like, I didn't even know half of them. It's actually so over, dude. There's infinite food.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I was watching Yuru Camp in Chinese.
Yeah.
And I realized I don't even know a bunch of these foods in Japanese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's so over. Foods are difficult.
I think it's actually. I actually recorded a short. I'm gonna make a short about this topic. Like I think food is
Dude,
actually.
do you want examples? I got so many foods.
No, I already have examples. I already had 2 examples. There's so many food related words that every Japanese person knows, but it would be really hard to learn from media, or like would just seem so obscure and random that you might just white noise it. Like that's what I always did. I white noised food for the most part, but then recently I'm like people keep asking me about food and I don't know what the hell any of it is.
Oh, dude, my mom's tuning in. She likes
really?
that your mom is giving you a hard time.
Oh really? It's funny. Can we have a deep explanation about chimimoryo?
Oh, dude. Evil spirits of rivers and mountains, bro.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Mama Spagnola in the chat. If you join Discords dedicated to mobile games, you might put... Yeah, if you try mobile games, mobile game communities, Japanese people love mobile games. Artistic foods. I'm not sure what he means, but yeah, there's a lot of... It goes really deep.
Autistic.
There's a lot of... Autistic, maybe?
I said autistic foods.
Oh, you thought you said artistic.
Yeah, it was from Nishio Ishin, the guy who made Monogatari. So it was like really weird, but there's a lot of foods
Yeah.
that I didn't know.
Yeah, the food culture goes really deep in Japan. And Japanese people love food. Like, Japanese people will tell you that, like, the number one thing they like about Japan is food. They say stuff like that quite often.
Oh, yeah.
Or, like, they literally say, like, they can't live in other countries because the food sucks. And, like, that's not, like, probably to Americans, that's not even a consideration. It seems kind of bizarre that you would choose where you live based on what kind of food is available. But to Japanese people, that's, like, really important.
Wait, Nico, can I test your food knowledge?
Sure.
I found 5 foods I didn't know in one sentence. I want to see how many of them you know.
Okay.
Do you know gnocchi?
No.
Oh, here, let me get the definition. It's, nachi from Italian. What else is there? Do you know carpaccio?
It sounds familiar, but no, I don't know what it is.
Carpaccio from Italian.
What? I don't know what that is. What is that in English?
Yeah, I don't know. That's ravioli. Ravioli. I think there was like one more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you know isomushi?
No.
Oh, it's a type of like steaming them, I think. It's
Oh,
not
really?
in the dictionary, but I'm pretty sure it's real.
I'm pretty sure it's real.
Yeah, it's in here. Oh yeah, what about murugai?
Murugai. Like a type of clam or whatever?
Yeah,
Shellfish? Yeah. I mean, no, I don't know what it is, but...
It's
Because
when
it
you
has
cook
guy
a
on the
mussel.
end.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of room for improvement. Because I bet Japanese people probably know almost all of them.
Did you know that... Did you know how chopsticks are counted when they're not broken? When you have waribashi that are in a set that aren't broken yet, they count as ichizen. But when you break it, it's nihon. And then you count one as ippon. But the set itself is called ichizen. Did you know
I've
that?
never seen that before.
And it's
No.
like ozen date no zen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Saki
That sounds really weird.
My
I can't
girlfriend
believe
taught me
people say
that. Yeah. And there's another one I used as an example in my video, but I forgot what it was. But there's so many weird
Oh,
food.
remember.
Fish kanji can
Like,
get pretty crazy too. Yeah, that's true. And there's so many different kinds of fishes, so many different kinds of fish that Japanese people know, and they like have in their mind every type of fish is like a distinct thing. But to me, it's like, oh, big fish, small fish, medium fish. But to them, like, they look at the fish and it's like different. Like, there's like tons of different kinds of koi. My girlfriend was telling me about it. There's like nikoi, there's like another, nigoi. Nigoi is one. And then there's like another type, I forgot, it also starts with an N. It's like, has something goi, like nagoi.
Is magoi something? Yeah, black carp. I've heard of magoi.
Magoi, yeah. And then there's like namazu, which is like a really big... Why is my...
That's like an utsubo and namazu. Wait, or is that catfish? Oh, it's utsubo and unagi. Oh yeah, namazu is a catfish, right?
It's like a, really big catfish. But yeah, there's so many different kinds of fish, and Japanese people know exactly what each fish looks like in their brain. But to me, it's just like big fish, small fish, brown fish. Oh, look, another brown fish. But they're like, oh, this is the blah, blah, blah kind of fish.
Moment.
Yeah.
I like fish.
My mom said you're not saying nochi correctly, nachi, whatever the thing you just said was.
You know, my mom actually commented on that too. I think.
Oh, really?
I just don't know what this is.
Do you guys?
I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's gnocchi. So I just don't know. I see that. I think nachi.
Do you guys feel glad when you when Japanese compliment your level, Nihongo jozu, or do you just want them to converse with you like a normal person? I mean, I feel pretty glad every time it happens. I think it's kind of autistic to be like, "Oh my god, like I'm so annoyed that Japanese people compliment me." Like that's just really weird to me. Like just shut up and be happy. They're not being condescending. They literally think your Japanese is good. Now, sometimes your Japanese sucks and they say it, but even if your Japanese sucks, they actually think it's good and they're saying that from the like bottom of their heart. They really mean it, even if you suck. But every time they compliment your Japanese, they mean it. And like it's just an autistic thing to be like it's like an internet, it's like a Reddit kind of thing. Like, "Oh my god, they compliment me?" like like I just don't get it. I'm happy every time. And and sometimes they're like a lot like with older people, they might like constantly bring it up, which can be annoying. Like every time you say
Oh, by the
something
way, you're
like,
cutting out a lot. You might want to increase your sensitivity.
uh okay, let me increase my sensitivity. Wait.
That was weird that you did that.
it's it's gonna show all of my Discord stuff because I'm streaming my whole screen, but who cares? Um, where's the sensitivity again?
No, it's in settings, bro.
音声だよね.
Oh, is there a way to do it like an easier way? Oh,
Testing,
that's not it.
testing. How about this? Can you hear me better now?
Oh,
How
well,
about
I mean,
this?
it'll take a little bit to find out.
Well, I just lowered it quite a bit. Okay. But anyway,
Your mom is disappointed in you because you're not saying it right and you're Italian.
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm a fake Italian. But yeah, yeah. So sometimes
I
they
think
constantly bring it up, and it can be super annoying. But for the most part, they'll compliment you once or twice, and then occasionally, if you say something really natural, that they'll like freak out, and to me, it's just an ego boost. Like, yeah, my Japanese is great. I'm happy. They're complimenting me. Win-win. I don't think it's a problem unless it literally gets in the way of the conversation.
I mean, yeah, I have the same opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I like it when they say I have a big vocabulary. That's the thing that gets
Yeah.
me going. I'll keep going until they say it.
Max, max autism.
Yeah, autism maxing.
Okay, and then they said thanks for the advice. Good luck. Thanks, AI. RX says cooking Japanese food helps. Kudashiru phone app has a lot of recipes. Interesting. Maybe I'll look into that. I didn't know about that. RX goaded rec. I'll use that. Jared also says Kudashiru. Okay, they're all repping Kudashiru, so that might be a good option. Failed Italian. Yeah, I don't know my food. It's over. I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's over. Oyakodon. Oyakodon is good. And
Oh, I love that.
what's your favorite Japanese food, Wyatt?
The Chinese food. I like gyoza and fried rice.
Mm-hmm.
Chahan and gyoza are the best.
Yeah, I like that too. I like ramen, which is also originally Chinese.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's so over.
But the Japanese food that Japanese people like is actually really different from the Japanese food that we like. Or like the food that they see as like amazing Japanese food is really different. So like they see mostly seafood, like raw seafood as like amazing food. Like in their mind that's like the best food you can eat. Like I went to like a fancy place with Shogo and Riku, and they had like all these bizarre seafoods like raw squid, raw fish, a bunch of things that you couldn't eat, and like mentaiko wrapped in egg, and like they had like a snail and like all kind of stuff like that, and they were like, "Oh my god, this is the best food I've ever eaten. This food is amazing."
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, "Wait, what is this weird stuff I've never seen before?" But to them it's like actually pretty normal. Like they don't actually see it as weird food, and like I ate it though, and it was good, for the most part, but it was just very unusual. It was a slightly uncomfortable experience.
Have you ever had shirako?
No.
Do you want to?
No.
You're not
I'm
interested
good.
in sperm sacs?
No, not interested. You guys might be under a rock. Yeah, I bet so. Michael says I had okonomiyaki for the first time. It was so good. Yeah, okonomiyaki is amazing. Do you like it, Wyatt? I can't remember if you like it.
Uh, I've never had it.
Oh, really? Yeah, I
I
like
probably wouldn't like it that much, but I eat it.
I like both types of okonomiyaki, the Hiroshima and Osaka. It's hard to choose which one. Mom says you aren't saying it right. You're Italian. She said work on this. We'll work on this later. Sunglasses. I didn't even know
Yeah,
she knew how to use that emoji. That's really cool, actually. I like that.
I assume the pronunciation is similar to gnocchi, but in an English way that I can't
My
quite
mom is
figure out right
cooking
now.
me. Yeah, my mom is cooking me right now. Good day to both of you. Love you, Nico. Nico, love you too. And FF.
Oh,
I'm not
thank
sure
you.
what that means. Um,
Now you, I feel like I should. Wait, let me think about. I feel like I should know
bro,
this.
it's all peak. Food?
It's food. Have you ever had uni expired Kermit?
I've never had unagi. I kind of want to try it.
Oh, I had unagi. Remember you were there. That was the
Yeah.
worst day of my life. I like cod the most. Cod's my favorite fish.
COD? Call of Duty.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay.
All right. Anyway,
There was some other things I wanted to talk about, like,
French fries. Oh, French fries. Yeah.
oh, French fries. Yeah, yeah.
I love me a good dude. The sushi restaurants have the best French fries.
I have, but the uni was mid. I had like massive amounts of McDonald's the other day. I had like a bunch of nuggets
Really?
and
In
chicken
Miyazaki?
Yeah.
Really?
It
Why
was
do you
the
do
only
that?
it was the only thing that was open. It was the middle
Oh,
of the
yeah,
night.
no. They're always open.
Well, it depends.
I got my massive 2-liter Matt water
Oh,
bottle.
dude, I found out that they have KFC has biscuits. They have like a specific kind of biscuit they sell in Japan. They don't have the regular ones like in America, but it's like a round biscuit with a hole in the middle. It's pretty good.
That's a donut, bro.
No, it's a biscuit.
Oh, I mean, I like the biscuits. They're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Abara soba, underrated?
Soba. I haven't had it, or
I don't
maybe
even know if
have.
I've had soba.
I think we might have had it.
I really like udon, actually. Udon's one of my favorites.
I wanted to ask George to talk about the meditation and Zen stuff, and Buddhism, but he's not here.
Dude, I'd go crazy over some Tennin no Gosi.
Mm-hmm. We already
Anyone in the
covered
chat?
we already covered the Korean politics, the Chinese immersion audio setup, freestyle rap. We talked about audiobooks. We didn't talk about identity that much, but we hit a lot of the topics we wanted to discuss.
Do you want to end it here? I'm like,
Yeah.
so the thing is, it's really hot, and my air conditioner is super loud, so it's off, and I've been sweating like
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah, I think
I think
I'm ready to wrap it up. This was a good stream. Maybe we could do another one and go into Buddhism, Zen, or I can make a short out of it or something. I've been trying to think about how to do interviews that actually get views. Cause like I noticed interviews tend to do poorly, but maybe if I make them into shorts.
I think yours did like pretty good. They got almost as many
that's
views as
true.
the other videos.
The recent one did. The past ones never did well, but the one with Phantom Madman did just as well as a regular video. All
That's
right, well,
great.
I think we can call it a day. Thank you guys for watching.
Oh yeah,
And
that was
we
good.
got to most of the questions. That was fun. Great conversation. We've been talking 3 hours, 3-hour video. But thank you guys for watching. Bye, guys. 7-stop out. You should try haddock. See you guys. All right, I ended the stream. Ugh,
All right.
that was